Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 26 Week 2. So, of course, we got a good handful of things happening this week, though not nearly as many things as next week, that's for sure. So this week, of course, we have the 9.0 update. Of course, we've been going over this here and there. I'll be able to go over in-game on next Monday video, as well as, next Monday stream in a week from today. But this update should be hitting by tomorrow, unless it's going to hit later tonight, but most likely tomorrow. Unfortunately, the update itself won't do too much immediately. It'll fix some of these visuals, to look like this and a couple other things like that. But for the most part, almost everything that's happening in tomorrow's patch doesn't take effect until next week's Monday, so 1 week from today. So on that day, we'll be able to go over it pretty comprehensively on the video, as well as mess around with it on stream. As of course, on stream, we'll be going pretty deep into the Underspire and seeing what we can do. Probably buy the max amount of torches and see what kind of new rooms we can end up reaching on the first day. Because of course, it is spread out across the entire week, so won't be able to get all of it up front, but I'll be able to get quite a bit of it. I might even hold a lot of my torches and potentially just save it for a weekend stream then. I'm still not sure I'm going to handle it, but obviously on Monday we'll go over it pretty extensively when it does end up hitting. Beyond that, other things that are affecting this week. We have 2 faction events, one on Tuesday, one on Friday. One on Tuesday being for Amethrax, the one on Friday being for Crypt Keepers, getting a 6 troop as well. 6 troop's not useful though, it just creates a bunch of purple, which you don't really need since you generally just run the insta-kill troop that doesn't use purple. You still run the Empower guy because he denies the enemy purple, but beyond that, yeah, the new guy that's coming in won't be that useful on Friday. But of course, still another faction event to go with that. I'm also going to be doing a lot of raid event because if any of you guys still need a guild, we still need a few more people for the guild. So if anyone's interested on PC Mobile, we got 3 spots left that we still need to go fill. And even after that, we might need to fill a little bit, as some of the people that we have, we might have to kick if they're too inactive for Guild War. We'll have to see. But at the moment, we need 3 more. So if anyone's still interested, still in recruitment mode at the moment, try to build back the guild. But with that being said, because the guild's a little bit smaller right now, I'm actually going to do tier 6 plus 2. So we're going to do a lot of raid event. It's actually going to be a really long stream. I already bought tier 6 earlier for the video, but we're going to also buy tier 7 twice, which of course gives you a lot of extra battles, 20 each time, as well as extra stats. Every time you buy it, you get 7 all stats. So this will be really nice for truffles since we'll have a lot more damage. Though once we get deep enough, we probably will have to switch into an insta-kill Iron Gut team to be able to go and clear it out. But that'll pretty much be the game plan for today. Do a ton of the raid event. And yeah, Underspire is also really free this week. You have access to all the goblins, which gives you a lot of really high mana accumulation. You have access to insta-kill off of Iron Gut. You have instant mana accumulation off of Boom Pile. You have Flaming Ani for infinite resummon and mana accumulation. You have Truffle for low rarity. You can literally just run 2 Truffle and be good to go for the entire event. The new guys, honestly, not even that bad. That came out today. You can even use the raid trip to go kill out the bosses quicker if you want to. He's actually pretty solid, especially once he gets shininess on him. And then you just have all the extra turn stuff. Oh, plus you get Black Beast with the new weapon is really good synergy as well. The new weapon that came out through the raid event, really good synergy with Black Beast. We didn't show a team for it in the video, but doing any kind of team that's basically Black Beast, weapon... Actually, no, you would need to have something in your first slot. So you basically have to have 1 meat shield in first slot, then Black Beast in second, Hero in third with the Explodey weapon, and then like some mana accumulator in fourth. And then you'll be good to go for a Black Beast Devour team and just keep devouring your first slot over and over and over again. And that would pretty much be the game plan then. And yeah, ends up working out pretty well. Anyways, we'll get to that in a moment though. Let's go to raid event. Let's go grab the raid event team. Not sure if we need to adjust to any for the earlier battles, but we're probably fine. I guess for the really early battles, we care more so about just getting Truffle up, and we have to use this, so we will switch them out. But once we get a little bit deeper, we will want to have the Lord Gopthi a little bit further up so that he can get his insta-kill a bit quicker. But for these initial fights, we should be fine just running Truffle for most of the beginning of the stream. Oh gosh, we got 72 battles we gotta go do. Are we gonna do all of them right now? I'm not sure, we might. We got a lot of raid battles to do today. Because I just want to make sure the guild ends up getting enough points, because we were all the way down to like the last few hours finishing up the event yesterday, or last week. And that was for an easier event. But anyways, hello everyone. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong chat. Let me go move this over so I can see the chat a little bit better. Hello everyone! Hello Mulu! Hello Jets! Hello Chad! Hello Tyrion! Hello Cookie! Hello Chris Purpose! Patch is live? Wait, is it live? Is it? Did I say that? Or is it already? No, it's not live yet. Did I say it was live? It's not live yet. It's gonna be live tomorrow night, most likely. But 1 week from today is when we actually get to do everything with the patch. But no, the patch itself should be tomorrow around this time. We won't be doing a stream for it just because it's just basically cosmetic changes. But we'll be going over it pretty extensively on next week's Monday video where all of it actually takes effect. as the patch itself is doing very minimal as far as instantly doing stuff. Almost all of it applies to the following week. Also, did I put the wrong copy-paste here? I did. I want that the other way around. I want to get Truffle up immediately, not the other guy. Let me go switch that back real quick. When did they get swapped on me? I want it that way. There we go. Hello, Ron. Hello, Imperial. A long time no see. Glad to see you again. Hello, yeah. And hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, we've still been at it every week. Still been at the grind. And all the holidays so far went really well. Like Thanksgiving and such. Very cozy time of the year. Alright, you need to go get full mana so we can go win. There we go. That's pretty much the game plan for all the initial battles here. And with the extra damage that he has, we're getting 14 more damage per cast, which is not that bad either. From the extra power potion, something that we almost never have access to because I very rarely buy to steep. But it kind of changes up what you can kind of run on a given week. Because it allows us to get away with Truffle for a longer period of time before we'd have to switch to Iron Gut. I forget if I mentioned that in the video. I think I did like very briefly. But if you are planning on going really deep, you do eventually need to switch out your Truffle for Iron Gut on this team. At the exact point really depends on your stats. But eventually Truffle will become too slow and you're going to need to go for the insta-kill for Iron Gut. But you'd have to go pretty deep for that to be relevant. For most people just doing bare minimum for guild, it probably shouldn't be an issue just running it this way. But if you're going to be running as deep as we are, there will be a point, maybe even today, that we do have to switch over to the insta-kill option. And with all the extra stats that we have, we should have 100% Devour rate as well, as we should be at 100 attack on Iron Gut, given that everything on our team is also already at 100 attack. So we won't have to worry about like an RNG 89% or something similar. He'll get it 100% of the time, assuming they don't have immune, of course. Which I'm not sure how we're going to handle that. I guess we just keep killing it with Turnip and maybe the other guy. Because Lord Gopthi does have auto extra turn, which is kind of a huge... he's basically the best raid troop in the entire game now. Because he's like the other troop that has insta-kill, or extra turn I mean. But he has two extra benefits. He has bleed gem boost ratio, which isn't that big. But the other biggest benefit is that he has shininess. The other one cannot be shinied. And this guy can be reduced down to 11 or even 10 mana cost. You'll get him for free to 11 mana cost just from completing out the event with your guild. And if you want to spend a ton of shiny keys, you can also get him to 10 this week, if you really care about having him at 10 mana instead of 11. I probably won't be doing that, because even though he's useful, how rarely you'll bring it out is not really worth it. The main things that he counters in the current state of the game are Maelstrom Dagannoth, which is decently relevant, as well as Catharix, and that's about it. Everything else that he counters doesn't really get used much in the current state of the game until they add more bosses to the game. But he has a lot of use cases, because if they ever do add another really good boss to the game, like, you know, another Maelstrom Dagannoth level troop, it'll be able to counter that better than any other troop currently in the game right now. So, yeah, he's pretty good. So if you want a shiny key for him, this is the week to do so, if you really care about having a really good raid counter. I'm personally just going to be going with the free 5 shiny tokens, though, to get him down to 11. But if you really want to min-max him, you can get him down to 10 by throwing a bunch of shiny keys this week. And I believe his extra benefit is just extra bleed damage, which isn't really that relevant. It's mostly for the extra 1 lower mana. I highly doubt too many battles will really depend on him having 11 mana compared to 10. Or, you know, 10 instead of 11, but I'll just be keeping him at 11 personally. It is an option this week if you have a lot of shiny keys laying around. Should we wait for tomorrow's patch update first to play the Underspire? No, it is safe to play Underspire whenever. All the changes that are applying to Underspire, other than the visual changes, are not taking effect until next week. So it is 100% safe to do your Underspire today. Assuming there's no glitches. That's making the bold assumption that there's no glitches that will occur tomorrow. But assuming there's no glitches that will occur tomorrow, yeah, it's perfectly safe to do your battles now. It is making the very bold assumption that they will do a patch with no glitches related to it, though. Which is not guaranteed. We thought that once. Yeah, that happened last time they tried doing anything to Underspire. I mentioned that briefly in the video, too. Last time they changed Underspire a little bit, it completely broke Underspire for the entire week. Honestly, I think it even broke it for a couple weeks. But particularly the week of. So we'll see what happens this time. Hopefully they learned from the first time and it doesn't happen again. But there's a very good chance Underspire just breaks tomorrow in some kind of catastrophic way. But there's really no way of knowing until it happens. But if everything works correctly, it's perfectly fine to do your Underspire battles now. It's not going to affect anything. As all the buffs to Underspire don't take effect until next week. None of them apply this week, other than the small visual changes that I'll have. Is this pretty much the only change that affects it immediately? Is this screen right here is what Underspire will look like tomorrow. And currently it doesn't look like that now. But all these other changes, like trap rooms and treasure rooms and, you know, all these other stuff here, this doesn't take effect till next week's Monday. Just so it doesn't interrupt anything with this week. Oh, so we're not going to do all these battles right now. We'll do a handful of them, then go do everything else we need to go do. And then at the end of the stream, we'll probably go grind them again. Because I forgot how many battles it is when you buy tier 6 plus 2. That's over like 70 battles we gotta go do. We'll probably do them all tonight, but we'll split them up between other stuff just so we're not camping this for like an hour. Because once we get about 50 battles deeper, the battles are going to take a little bit longer. Because we're actually going to have to cast the raid troop to kill the raid boss. And we're going to have to eventually start casting Iron Gut to actually kill everything. Last time ended up being fine. Well, one of the update times they ended up doing it ended up messing with it. I can't remember which. But there was one time where they messed with something with Underspire and it broke it for like a week or two. Yeah, whatever the most recent time that they did with Underspire didn't break anything. But the very first time they tried messing with stuff, it did break some stuff. I don't know, we'll find out tomorrow. The patch should be about this time tomorrow on whatever platform you're on. It's the only thing that's kind of unfortunate about a lot of other modern patches these days, though, is not much really happens with patches immediately. Like, we know that the patch is tomorrow night, but there's like nothing to go over until the following Monday. There's a lot of patches these days, they don't take effect until the following week, even if they happen like right at the beginning, like on that Tuesday. Which is kind of unfortunate. Oh yeah, I need to be careful not to accidentally hit him. I keep forgetting. He gains Submerge after you hit him once. So it's very important to not do that. Or when you do, make sure you're doing it with like your AoE option. Because now I need to cast on him in a whole extra time. Whereas if I did it in the other order and did Truffle first, we wouldn't have to worry about that. Because ideally we'd want to chip it down with Truffle and then do the boss troop at it. Or the turnip or whatever we're doing on it. So that he actually dies out properly. Otherwise he's going to submerge the Truffle hit. But yeah, every single Maelstrom Dagonov, that's one really annoying thing that he has. Or I guess this one's technically a rocky one. But they have Submerge on hit. So if you're going to be hitting them with AoE, you got to make sure you do it as your first hit on them. Otherwise it's going to get Submerge countered. You bought torches, did one room to get the lantern, and you'll just use it tomorrow when it's safe. Yeah, that's something that's happening with the patch that I didn't fully understand. I assume lanterns still double the loot of the normal dead-end rooms. The wording made me question it a bit when I was going through it earlier. But I believe what it's doing is, the new chest cannot be doubled. But the old one still can, is I believe my current understanding of how that's going to work. So you can still double, you know, your double silver orb, your double gold orb, stuff like that. But you won't be able to double the new chests that are coming out. Like all those 20, up to 20 treasure rooms. I believe that's my understanding of what the patch is doing. When it comes to using lanterns to double stuff. You'll still be able to double everything that you can currently double. But all the new stuff you cannot double with the lantern. You believe they're safe, otherwise no one would buy lanterns? True. Lanterns would be pretty pointless if they didn't double the loot of any room. It's pretty much their whole purpose is to double the loot of, you know, the good dead-end rooms. That's kind of like their whole value prospect is being able to do that. So if they lost that ability, then they'd be kind of useless. It'd be very, very useless. How are you not dead? Here, just explode 10 or 4 skulls. There we go. No, the Underspire map is not supposed to be reset after the patch. The way that it should work tomorrow is the update's going to happen. The visuals are going to change. But nothing from the update is actually going to apply to the new Underspire. Or, you know, to the Underspire for this week. It's the following week that they're going to start applying everything. So it should be completely safe to do everything now that you want to go do with Underspire. They don't double the loot from the Sentinel chests, only the battles? Really? Is that confirmed? Or are they nerfing them into the ground? Oh, I'll find out tomorrow. Because I'm not sure if all the new loot would make up for the fact if you couldn't double the loot from dead-end rooms. Even though we're getting quite a bit of extra loot, I'm not sure if it's worth the guaranteed not getting all the other doubles. Oh, you're just referring to the Sentinel thing. Oh, okay. Oh, is that actually a thing? I never realized it because I never doubled it when I got a Sentinel. So when you double a Sentinel, you only get 1 instead of 2. I've never used one when I got a Sentinel, so I actually don't know. I think we've only gotten the Sentinel drop like 6 times now. While this patch isn't adding anything to get the Sentinels easier, they have mentioned that they are looking into ways of doing that in the future. However, this particular patch is not making the Sentinels any easier to get than they already are. But they have mentioned they will likely add them in Soulforge for something. We don't currently know what. If I had to guess, probably a bunch of diamonds or some other resource. So this update isn't making them easier to get, but they have confirmed they are going to at some point make them easier to get. But nothing in the update actually makes them any easier to get. Maybe curse runes could be an option. Yeah, they might make it cost curse runes. Curse runes are a little bit more annoying to get. But if they do make it curse runes, you can always buy it daily from dungeon. It's basically just putting a gem cost on it, but making it a different resource. So if they ever did do something like that, you can buy curse runes at a rate of, what is that? 8 gems per curse rune. Kind of like how Dragonite is 5 gems per curse rune. But you can buy it daily here. And the merchant, I believe, has the same value for it as well. But yeah, all these resources you can end up doing that for. Diamonds, curse runes, and Dragonite. Though the diamonds here aren't as worth it. These are, though. But, yeah, these are the main 2 that can convert nicely daily. This one, not so much. But it's 8 gems per curse rune and 5 gems per Dragonite for converting gems into those respective material. You can buy those every single day. So if they ever did make something that you required a ton of them, as long as you have a lot of speared gems, you can just throw it down that way then. End up getting it all that way. Alright, how are we doing on guild rewards? Let's see. We're getting there. We'll go for like about 10-ish, 20-ish thousand right now, and then we'll go clear out everything else we need to go do. And then we'll go revisit raid event near the end. Just so we're not here the entire time. Because we got a lot of battles we gotta go do. And they are gonna start to take longer as our truffle gets outside of good damage range. Luckily, absolutely everything on this team has auto extra turn, which is very convenient. Actually, every event this week is so free because of that. Both raid event and Underspire are very, very, very free this week. It's kind of unfortunate because I wish they would have done that next week since we're going to be doing a ton of Underspire next week. Because given that this is the last Underspire that isn't like mega buffed, I kind of don't want to go and mess with it too much. Even though it's easy, I want to save the gems for throwing it down on all the mega weeks we're going to have going forward. Since this is the final week that's not buffed. A use for curse runes? Well, they did it as like a crafting material at one point for Soulforge. But then they did one update for it and then never did anything with them since. It's really weird. Like, it seemed like they were going to be a core crafting material for Soulforge going forward. But after that one update where they did a ton of stuff for it, they literally never touched them again. So I'm not sure exactly what happened with that. So how is this not dead yet? There we go. I don't think we're quite deep enough to pull out the Iron Gut yet, though. The other issue with Iron Gut is if we come across something that has the immune to Devour. Not counting Maelstrom Dagannoth, or whatever he's called, the Rocky Dagannoth. He's obviously, we just kill him with the Raid Troop. I get him the full mana, kill that out, keep getting mana all over the place. One thing I might need to do if we go super deep as well is, honestly, I think we get rid of Turnip for what's his name? I can't remember what's his name. I just realized I'm using Turnip with Geomancer, so we're actually getting a little bit less gems. It's fine, though. But I am considering removing Hero for the resummon guy. The one that does a ton of explodes and everything. Just because it feeds a little bit better into Lord Gopthi. Because we will eventually reach a point where we have to double cast with Lord Gopthi. At which point, it would actually be better to run the big explodey guy rather than Turnip. Right now it's fine because he's going to get all his mana just from the explodes and enchant. And for a little bit, I guess, from the final guy. But it would eventually get deep enough where we're going to need to double cast, if not triple cast, the Raid Troop. Forgotten currency along with the war coins and other things? Gosh, this game has so many dead currencies I wish they would fix. I don't think I've ever played a game with more dead currencies in it. It's actually crazy how many of them are dead. Or pretty much dead. And it makes a lot of battles feel a lot less rewarding. Like, for example, the fact that you get trait stones from every battle. Yet you very quickly reach a point where you never need trait stones again in the current state of the game. Mostly because of orange orbs helping out a ton. Which is overall great for the health of the game and helping new players catch up. But it rapidly speeds up the speed in which trait stones become useless. Compared to in the past before any of those mechanics existed. It's good for the overall health of the game, particularly for new players, but it makes the end game just have a bunch of trait stones that do literally nothing that you get every single day. Same as ingots for weapons. As mentioned the other day, I wish there was a way to upgrade your trait stones to Celestials, all the way to Celestials, every trait stone, and have a way to upgrade your ingots all the way to Mythics, which already exist, but then put a bunch of things in Soulforge that then converts into other objects. So make every trait stone able to upgrade into a Celestial, make every ingot able to upgrade to a Mythic one, which already exists, and then make a bunch of things in Soulforge that use Celestials and the Mythic ingots to craft. And then boom, you got yourself a crafting system that can consume all those dead currencies into something. Technically, a few of them exist for Celestials already, but the problem with Celestials is there's no way to upgrade all your very low tier trait stones into them. And ingots have the inverse issue, where you can upgrade them all the way to max, but there's nothing to spend them on in Soulforge. There's not like a bunch of things in Soulforge that require mythic ingots. So they both have the inverse issue. Celestials have stuff to dump into, but no way to convert into. And ingots have a way to convert into, but nothing to dump into. So they did it halfway for both, but didn't do either of them all the way. It's really weird. Something I hope gets resolved at some point eventually. The other one I always wanted for pet food as well is be able to feed your pets for like a temporary buff or something. Because as pet food is right now, you can reach a point where you have infinite pet food. And then it just piles up and does nothing. Because you can't feed your pets or anything. Like obviously you can initially to upgrade them. But, you know, once they're maxed, you can't feed them for extra bonus or something similar. Suggestion I gave to them a while back during one of the really old betas, back when I was still doing the beta test, was be able to feed them for like a day-long or a week-long extra buff, which would obviously permanently consume the food, but, you know, you'd be able to buff up certain pets if you need them for a given week. Like, let's say, for example, this week, you would want to upgrade your Zacian pet and your Goblin pet, because you're going to be running a bunch of Zacian and Goblin teams. So in a week like this, you could feed the corresponding pets and then give them a bunch of stats, which would permanently consume the food, but give you a week-long buff to use with the event week. But they never ended up implementing such a thing. I did suggest it during one of the really old betas back when, around the time they were added. Because it's very obvious you would eventually hit max pet food in the current system. But nope, still no solution to it. Like, what, 8 years later? Still no solution for it, unfortunately. They really just love making dead currencies. Even when it's very obvious the currency is going to become dead through some means. Alright, we'll go down until we have 50 battles remaining, and then we'll go clear out all of the dailies. And then we'll go revisit raid event a bit. Because I forgot, it's actually going to take a bit of time, isn't it? I'm so used to just doing like tier 4 or something. But we're at tier 6 plus 2, which is like 70-something battles. Plus all the Valhawks you get along the way. Which is something like 3 to 4 times as many battles as we normally do. Plus they keep getting stronger, of course. Though we do have access to insta-kill troops, so that shouldn't matter as much compared to an average week. Just because Iron Gut should clean up really nicely once we get really deep. Yeah, we'll go until we have 50 battles remaining, go do all the dailies, hand out the redeem code soon. And then we'll go mess with, and then come back to this at the end. These curse runes have an infinite use, crafting orbs and vault keys. Yeah, they somewhat do. Same as Celestials to some degree. There's just not a way to convert all your trait stones into the Celestials. But a lot of the things the Celestials go into aren't particularly good. Like vault keys, the orbs, stuff like that. Not that the orbs are bad, it's just the amount of resources you have to spend to get the orb is pretty expensive. Like the Celestial is not ever the limiting factor. It's the curse runes that's the limiting factor normally. Like with the way that Celestials are used in Soulforge right now, even without the ability to craft all your lesser runes into Celestials, even without that, you're far more likely to run out of curse runes before you ever come even close to running out of Celestials. At least later in the game. Obviously as a newer player you might run out of Celestials. But in late game you're far, far more likely to run out of curse runes before you run out of Celestial. Even without the ability to craft all the way to Celestial. Yeah, we're starting to get really close to needing to switch to Iron Gut. I think my plan is to go down to 50 battles with this team, clear out everything else we gotta go do today, and then we come back switching the team to Iron Gut version, where I'm pretty sure I'm just dropping Hero completely in favor of what's his name? The big explodey guy that's triple summon. What if I forget his name? But the really big explodey guy from the kingdom. And we can also replace Truffle with a second boom pile then as well. Oh no we don't, never mind, because that would have to be the Iron Gut, duh. But we replace the Truffle for Iron Gut and we replace Hero for the big explodey guy. Or any of the explodey guys, doesn't really matter too much. There's a ton of mana accumulators in the kingdom. But the main reason we're doing so many more battles is the guild is kind of downsized a little bit recently. So I've been trying to build it back up. Might still be a week or a few weeks before we get it back to normal. But we're slowly getting there. Recruiting for Gems Awards is really annoying these days though. It's because every guild is kind of at the point where they need more people. And the player base, while decently large, is not the largest when there's so many big, like, 30-player guilds. Yeah, Flaming Ani, that's the one. Not sure why I forgot his name. I feel like I don't use him that often, but he is really good for this current event week. I just feel like his mana cost is too high to use for most other teams, like more general teams. He's a very, very high mana cost. Yeah, this is the big issue that Truffle tends to get later in the game. It's the main reason why you don't run him for like really high level delves unless you just want a really safe team. And you're in like early game without better options or something like Tesla or something similar. But his damage output just so slow. He can go into teams that have effectively true infinite loop that never ends. But his damage is so bad. This is with 14 extra damage and he's still doing almost no damage. He's just using the really old AoE values back before they started to make like mega absurdly strong troops. Like, you know, like Flower Dragon, Stellaric, stuff like that. Because he was before that curve of troops. Are we still at one-shot Maelstrom Dagannoth right now? We are. It's going to be annoying when that's not the case anymore. Because we're getting decently close to double cast Raid Troop. I don't know, maybe not. Because how much damage is that? It's like, it's not too bad. We're getting, like 800-ish damage, a little over. So never mind, we still got a little ways before he stops one-shotting. He will eventually reach it, though. Because he has no bleed boost ratio on this team. And while the low rarity team could fit it in, high rarity team really has no room to put bleed on. Are we down to 50? Okay, after this battle, let's go clear out all the other dailies. Hand out redeem code, and then we'll head back to raid event with a Iron Gut team. We're definitely getting to the point where we kind of need Iron Gut now. Just go insta-kill, 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 and then one or double cast on the other guy, and we're good to go. Because Truffle is starting to outlive its usability. There we go. And that brought us to third in the guild. We should be technically tied with Bear, assuming we both hit max points. I don't think there's anything reducing points, so it really comes down to, do you win all your battles? Let's see how many people went. Wow, they went really high. Look at how crazy high some people already went. I wonder how many people are in these people's guilds if they're going like that high. Is there a way to check here? 28. Like, this is what I don't understand. If this was like a smaller guild, I would understand. But they're already at 28 people and they're still going that high. This one's at 30 and they're still going that high. I guess they just really want to grind out the event. Like, when I click on one of these, I'm expecting the guild to have like 20 people or something. Just because if you did have a smaller guild, you would actually need to grind further. But no, all these are pretty much full guilds already. I'm not sure why they're going so hard on leaderboard then. Guess they just want to go for it. That's fine though. Alright, let's go clear out dailies real quick. And then we'll head back to the raid event. I still have Bill Warhammer. Yeah, we'll have the code in a little bit. I'll probably do it right before we go head over to PvP. Then we'll clear out PvP, then Underspire, then go back to the raid event with Iron Gut quick kill team. Some people like the leaderboards, true. I don't know, I haven't really tried going for any leaderboard in this game for a very long time, with the main exception being PvP leaderboard because it's really worth it. Because you're only competing with like 30 people. So it's a lot more realistic to go for compared to competing with thousands of people. Or even tens of thousands these days. Because even though concurrent isn't that high, obviously there are tens of thousands of people playing for something like, you know, PvP leaderboard or something similar. Not the smaller one like this one, but the global leaderboard. Like, there's generally tens of thousands per week normally going for that. Alright, what are we doing here? Not that. I wanted to go clear out the other stuff first. Dailies, check. I don't really need the EXP booster. We've kind of been ignoring them since 2000. If we get them for free, obviously I'll do them, but I haven't been going on my way for them. Oh, we get to play against the door! Nice. Start a poll. Yes. That door. There we go. Alright, you guys know the drill. 4, 5, or 6. Let's go get those doors in there. We got a staircase, a frost dragon, and a Sephirox. Which one is the boss room? Let's start clearing them out. And by the time we get down there, we'll go see which one it is. It's B-door time. We've actually been getting quite a few guest doors lately. Didn't we just get one literally last week? We're getting pretty lucky with them. Unfortunately, we haven't actually been finding the correct door, though, is the problem. We get to the guest door, but we keep getting the door wrong. Oh, we'll take that one over. The doors only know. It's looking pretty even this time around. 4, 5 tied, 6 in dead last, which means there's a 100% chance of 6. I know, I gotta go with my lucky 4. Oh, 5 just went higher though. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Someone just did a 5-er. You know there's a 100% chance of 6. And I still kind of want to go with my 4. No, it was 5! No! The 5s were right! No! Scammed. Maybe a poll was right. I had to go for my 4 though. It was indeed 5. We didn't get it. Rippity. Oh, he just one-shotted my damage source. I kind of need that. Imagine doubting the people. Oh no, you guys know me and my 4-door. I like my 4-door. Do we get an extra code for chat being right? Unfortunately, I have a pretty limited number of codes to hand out. But I can give out the one that we currently have now, if nothing else. Where do you guys go? Because as far as those little gem codes that we have, they technically stopped making them now. I only get like a few pet codes, like the 1 December one we were going to hand out probably on the Christmas week. Actually, I'll probably do it next week, actually. Because even though next week we're not getting the Christmas pet, we are getting to start the Christmas event. So next week's Monday, 1 week from today, we'll be doing the 9.0 patch and handing out the Christmas pet then. I can't remember which one it is, but it's one of the old Christmas pets. Though I guess they're kind of easy to get these days because of the new pet system, but still. We'll have that to go hand out. I don't remember which one it is, but it's one of them. If you're still missing some of them. Nothing else that can help upgrade them, since most people don't have them upgraded. Alright, campaign will get done naturally. Don't really need to worry about that at the moment. Raid boss will be coming back to in a bit. Dungeons, already good to go. Underspire we'll do after PvP. Alright, let's go do PvP. Hope that's not where PvP is. So, we did deliberately downgrade the Ruby rank, so we do need to make top 3 this week in PvP. So, let's start getting some of our score in. I believe I have double buff today as well, so we do need to go run 2 of them, spell reduction and magic, so we'll grab that right now. And then after that, we'll go and start getting everything we need. Which is actually just the Glacial Peak area then. Or whatever that one Frozen Reach place is called. So we could run our good old Glacia. Did we get many Volkies this weekend? Did you end up getting Dragapult on Pokemon? No. Did they do a Dragapult thing? I did not end up getting it. I have not touched the Switch in, honestly, a couple months now. Almost since the Switch 2, I pretty much haven't touched the Switch 1. Not because I have a Switch 2, it's just they've been doing so much less seemingly for it. But no, I didn't end up getting the Dragapult. I don't know, ever since the Switch 2 era, I've kind of been done with the Switch recently. I might come back for Animal Crossing, though, to go check out the Animal Crossing update. Bare minimum for 1 stream. Not sure if we'll do multiple streams for it. But definitely got to go check it out just to see what they end up changing and everything. Oh, please don't kill this. I might actually need another battle here. Luckily, we can win with just Takshaka if we truly had to. Which we might have to. Not looking great. I just don't kill our first slot right here and we should be okay. He killed my first slot. We're not okay. Oh, yellow vertically. Let me try killing out everything behind. Start whittling those down. There's a skull over there. Do we care about him taking it? Yes and no. We care about our own mana more. Oh, plus his own explode, end up getting rid of it. Perfect. Any yellow extra turn I could take? Yes. Give me that. So we have double Takshaka. Now we just start killing things because he's being really annoying with everything he has. We only have one Takshaka left. Oh no. We should be okay though. Very sketchy fight. He has 75% reflect with extra reflect. That is a very annoying amount of reflect for the fact he's about to take 2 skulls. I think we actually died just to his reflect, which is kind of sad. If I can't get infinite looped right now, I believe we literally die to reflect damage. Because I kind of have to take a skull here. And then he takes a skull. So I basically have to win right now before he hits me one more time with anything. So if he even gains reflect, we auto lose. What's your reflect base by? Oh, oh, no, you don't gain reflect from anything else. It was something else on your team that was doing it. Okay, so I just need to get this thing to full mana and we win then. I was trying to see what our safest option is. It seems fine. We'll take some green, that's fine. We take some blue over there, we're fine. And then hopefully we can just extra turn spam and go from there. And nothing scary yet. I just need this to land like 2 times. No! Wait, what does that count as? Victory? I'll take it. That was a weird fight. We actually got a draw. Draws used to count as a loss a lot of times. But we just got a draw victory. I'll take it. What a weird battle. I haven't seen that in a long time. But we just got a draw victory instead of a draw loss. I guess they're coded a bit differently. Also, wow, this battle went so much easier when Flower Dragon gets to live. But I've never seen that before in one of these battles. Apparently, you do get a win for a draw. There's quite a few other areas in the game are coded to be a lose when you get a draw. But this one's actually still a win. It's just a really rare circumstance that ever actually happens. Because you'd have to win at the same time you take a skull. Or, you know, you'd basically have to reflect kill yourself at the same time you get the win. Which is what happened there. Because he has 75% skull reflect. I wasn't going to kill him with ability, but the Cascaded Skull is what ended up triggering it. Yeah, that's the first draw I've gotten in a very, very long time. Generally, battles aren't really close in the current state of the game. You generally win by a mile or lose by a mile. So it's very rare that you even get a draw. Draw, but in your turn, maybe? Oh no, I could have sworn that draws, even on your turn, still counted as losses for a lot of game modes. But it could be because it's a more recently coded thing that they coded it a bit differently. But a lot of older areas in the game, I'm pretty sure if you draw, you still lose, regardless of how you draw. But because these are more recent, maybe they made it so draw is a victory instead. I'm not sure. It's not something that happens that often. That's probably my first draw in like 3 years. It's not a mechanic that comes up that often. Another one that doesn't come up that often unless you deliberately try to do it is getting the board stuck. There actually is a board clear plus every single thing getting mana drained. Kind of like in Puzzle Quest games that they did. Whenever the board is completely locked up. But you'd have to deliberately use power gems that lock up the board. It'll almost never happen by natural means. Unless you deliberately make a bunch of power gems that can't be matched together. Alright, we got Overbust for PvP. The only thing we have to do is 3 in Central. And we gotta go do Giant. Though, what's the other alternative? Fae. Oh no, Fae's honestly not that bad. I wouldn't even be surprised if a lot of people did it this time around. But my Glacia is upgraded so much, I think it is still better to do this area. Though if you don't have a strong Glacia, it might actually be better to run Fae. But yeah, we already have the team saved, so might as well run this. Wanda Stars, Glacia, double Baldair. But I do feel like if you don't have a really upgraded Glacia, this might be a Fae angle instead. But ours is nearly max, so we're going to go with the Glacia route. Zilla speed factor. The America troop is really good at forcing mana drain board wide. If there's an achievement about draw, we never get it. Luckily, all the achievements next patch are pretty free. The only annoying thing about a couple of them is they are completely luck-based. As some of them you have to find a certain room 5 times. And every week, 0 or 1 of them will appear. So you could get really unlucky and have 0 appear multiple weeks in a row. Which is one weird thing with the new system. They didn't make a lot of the rooms have a guaranteed 1 drop. Like, if it was 1 or 2, it would make sense. But there are rooms that you can actually get 0 of in a given week. And 2 of them are related to a new achievement that you need to do 5 times. So at bare minimum, it'll take 5 weeks. But if you get really unlucky, it could take literally like 3 months to a half a year if you get unlucky enough. We just don't know how common it's going to be that they do appear or not. All we know is that 0 or 1 can appear. And that you need to get 5 for the achievement on 2 of them. I think you have to find the mine 5 times, and I think the torch room 5 times. The new torch room, not the dead end one. It is like actual keg that gives you torches now. And the mine gives you curse runes. It's not a bad room, it's actually a really beneficial room. What happens if you draw in Guild Wars? I'm almost 100% sure it counts as a loss if you draw in Guild War. I'm like 90% certain a draw in almost every location in the game counts as a loss. Which is why I was surprised that one counted as a win. As a good majority of locations, drawing is considered a loss. Unless they've changed it in recent years. There are game modes we haven't drawed in several years, so it's hard to tell. It's not an occurrence that comes out that often. Even if you're deliberately trying to set it up, it's kind of hard to even set up a draw. You'd have to kill the enemy at the same time you also die. Alright, there we go. And now the only thing we have to do is our 3 central battles. Which also tell us about how hard the weekly is going to be. Because I do want to make top 3 this week for PvP. And last week, that I was deliberately trying to lose on. Good thing we weren't trying to go for leaderboard. Because literally rank 1 in PvP for the entire week was in my bracket. When I was in diamond rank last week, I don't think I ever showed it on stream or anything. Because obviously we wouldn't know at the beginning. But literal rank 1 PvP was in my bracket. Like, the person who got rank 1 for the entire game last week was in my bracket of 30. Which is absolute worst case scenario. Which is why I generally don't bother with diamond rank. I just lose diamond rank, go back to ruby, and then just try for ruby then. It's a lot easier to do. It's a bit less than if you went for diamond every single time, but going for diamond every time just takes so much time. Like dozens of hours of PvP, if not longer, every week. Don't kill that, I need that. That's my mana accumulator. Is that everything we needed? Is it our first Val Hulk, or how many are we at? I already lost track. No, that was our third. Okay, just making sure. Alright, how's our ladder looking right now? Ooh, a little bad, but let's hope that these guys are kind of done with their weeklies. These two look like they're going to grind to like 100,000 or something. But beyond that, it might not be that bad. Oh, we'll just have to see. Alright, so everything with PvP is now completed. I believe the only thing we haven't done then is Underspire, and then I guess we'll go just spam some raids. As we do still have 50 sigils left for raids. Not sure if we're going to run them all tonight, but definitely got to run some amount of them. Oh yeah, I didn't copy paste the team over yet from the video. Where is Underspire? What did we run for it? Okay, I was running a pretty deep Underspire team. I need really early Underspire team. Oh, we're going to build something completely different then. I'm just going to build a team from scratch. Is I want to do a team that's like a mix of both. Like I couldn't show this because it's definitely not low rarity. But I think it's double boom pile into, I don't know, do we even need hero? I kind of want a green storm. I was gonna do string fiddler for it. Well, I guess we could do archer class. And then go truffle. So we'll go truffle, we'll go archer class. Because I want that green storm for extra thing. There is a troop that does that, the string fiddler, but we'll use hero for it, I guess. Though we do gain a little bit more stats if we use string fiddler. But this allows us to use any weapon from the kingdom. Which, I guess we just use explodey weapon. The new explodey weapon. If I could find it in here. There it is, Dead's End. We'll run a team like that. And then we don't use purple, so we'll minus purple. And we just need any green, blue banner, or green, brown. Green, yellow, I guess is fine too. As long as we have double green is the main thing that matters here. Alright, there we go. And that's the team we'll run. Since we're basically just doing the free battles for today. I will be doing Underspire to full completion starting next week, but I figured we'd go for one easy one again this time around. Since I'm going to be going a lot deeper in the raid event this week compared to normal. Grab our lantern. Have you ever tried that troop? It's pretty fun. I have some in the past. I just tend to not really use mana drain spam teams a lot of times. Ever since Famine was nerfed. But there are a couple of pretty good ones. Like there's that, there's the one that does explode every single turn on it. The one that has Empower in the mana drain gem. A couple other ones like that. But no, ever since Famine nerf, like ages upon ages ago, I haven't really ran mana drain teams that often. Because that was around the time when they also added mana drain immunity. And the biggest downside that mana drain teams have in general is you basically also have to run stun on your team in order for it to work. And sometimes even curse stun. And sometimes even that won't work because they're using the things that have immune to everything. It's just very situational when you could bring it out. Oh, come on. How's that not full mana? There we go. Oh, you meant the forced mana drain from the board being clogged. Well, that's just for fun. There's no practical reason to ever use it. As it just stalls out the battle like crazy. But yes, we have done that before. Back when the mechanic was added ages ago. Like a couple years ago. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. They added around the time when they started doing power gems every season. Just out of the rare circumstances that the board would clog up. Alright, we did that, we did that. Okay, every daily and weekly that can be progressed right now has been. The only thing we haven't done is, not that, is the billion battles for raid event. So, yeah, let's keep going. We're a little bit down on players right now. And some of these might not be particularly active either, which I do need to go and figure out. Like Tyrion, no, just kidding. But no, some of our new people I might have to kick in and get replaced as well. So even though this says 27, we're technically at like 24, 25 right now. There's some of these newer people we might have to get rid of as well. But if anyone's still interested in a guild on PC Mobile, let me know. We're still in desperate need of players. I do need to go start actively recruiting again soon, though. Oh yeah, let's go switch to Iron Gut build. Iron Gut... We haven't really been spamming global chat. The problem is there's like a billion guilds spamming global chat. Like if I check back the last 2 hours, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guilds already doing it. Let's see. So we have to keep... this is raid event, so we have to keep that. And honestly, I think we get rid of Hero. I think this is a get rid of Hero angle. And just go a second Zarg boom pile. Because he's already at 100 attack without it. I think this is a double Zarg boom pile angle. And do it like this. And try to get Hiking Iron get really beefy. Only big issue I can see with this is Hiking Iron get dying to insta-kill potentially before we get things rolling. We also don't have any way to multicast Lord Gopthi that well. But, yeah, I think we'll make this work. I have it set to green-brown at the moment. That's probably fine. We're not really creating any mana color, so it doesn't really matter as long as we're not minusing something we need. What is the color we need the most at this point? Or I guess the least. Honestly, I almost feel like it's yellow. Let's minus yellow into green. Or minus yellow into anything. Honestly, blue-brown doesn't seem that bad. Like, blue-green would be pretty good, or green-blue. Green-brown? Let's go green-brown. At this point, I could even just go double green. Because the brown's not feeding into anything. Just give me double green, I guess. Since we're kind of using every color anyways. Alright, let's go with that. The only other thing we could do is replace in Hero for, like, a stealthy, for a stealthy class. With a resummon weapon. It would get us 2 less explodes per turn, but it would give us a way to guarantee get past the Dagannoth. I think we switched to that a little bit later. I don't think we're at a threat of dying yet. But once we get deep enough where we could die, that might have to be an angle. But I don't think we're deep enough to die yet. Yet. But we will eventually get that deep where that actually is a possibility. Oh, I know who I forgot. I should get rid of one of the explodey guys for the resummony guy. He doesn't have stealthy, but I think we still go for him. The Flaming Ani. But that was the main thing I forgot. Let's go get a Flaming Ani as one of them. Because it's very rare we'll even be able to get the full boost anyways. And I really need Flaming Ani to get Iron Gut up better. Otherwise he doesn't have enough mana accumulation from the other guy. But let me go Flaming Ani. Get rid of that for Flaming. Alright, there we go. And he can just chill over there. In a nice safe third position. Unfortunately no stealthy, so he can still be targeted. But, yeah, that should be all we need now. And now going a double green-red banner actually wouldn't be that bad. Double green-red, double green-red. Minus purple? I think we do that. We don't have to cast them that often. Twice at most. But we need Flaming Ani to get up as quickly as possible in this team. And then once we have him up, we basically just have infinite mana. Or he's kind of close to it. We're kind of blocked initially, but once he's not blocked anymore, if he was to cast, he'd basically have infinite mana. He just needs to not be blocked. The only problem is we're going to re-block him after we do this. That's the only problem with the way I have this team set up right now. We immediately end up re-blocking him. Well, you kill that in case it starts death marking us like crazy. You poke that. And then we just need a skull or full mana on something. Wait, is that one troop bugged? Oh no, I haven't really messed around with it much. Also, 100% Devour on Iron Gut feels so nice. Because normally you have to have a huge liability of his first cast just not working. Right, there we go. Grab Tribute. Oh, it's already been an hour already? Wow. Which one was it again? Wait, how do you spell it? Oh, I'm in Zijin. No wonder why. I'm like, wait, why is it not coming up? I know for sure it should have something in there. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by my gold. Create 3 booty gems. Wait, what's bugged with her? Her damage output? Because she shouldn't be doing that high a damage at all. The regular version doesn't mention it, but the shiny one does. Weird. Do a bunch of damage to an enemy boosted by my gold. Create some booty gems. Wait, do you have to have shiny level 2 for it to work then? Because with the way that this reads, it doesn't create booty gems based on its thing. And I go check it real quick. But the way that's worded makes it seem like it won't do that. I know, let's put it with 2 leprechauns real quick. Hello, Explore 1. I'll go try it real quick. But the way that it reads, it should only create 3 booty gems. If it actually does that or not is in question. But this should only create 3 booty gems. Ah, okay. I see. Yeah, it's worded incorrectly then. See, she creates 1 billion booty gems then. That's a lot of booty. That's a lot of booty. That's a lot of booty. Yeah, it's definitely doing not what the card says. They accidentally made the boost ratio work on her on her booty gem. It's supposed to only work on her damage, but they made it work on the booty gem instead. That's kind of funny. That's a lot of booty. But you could definitely force a mana drain with that. I'm not sure it's that practical to go do, but you definitely could. You could also use it with a booty gem boost ratio troop, but none of them are really strong enough that even with 30 booty gems on the board would be particularly strong, unfortunately. Yeah, that one Blackhawk Mythic, I think he has, what, 5 damage? I forget how much he gets from it. It's only 3. Yeah, that's the problem. He gains, like, nothing from it. It's not even 5. He does a bunch of damage to all enemies boosted by booty gems. Even if he had 30 booty gems on the board, he's only doing 90 extra damage. It's not a lot for how hard that is to do. Well, kind of easy with her, but, you know. Generally speaking, kind of hard to get that many. But that's not a lot of damage. Even if it was a 5 boost ratio, that's only 150 damage. 200's not enough to really kill at this late in the game. Like, if you do 200 to a trip like this, it gets to survive. In early game, that'd be really broken, though. But, you know, using Commodore with him. But this late in the game, he doesn't have a high enough boost ratio to utilize that. Even in his bug state. And this just made the wording wrong. Alright, well, let's keep doing raid. Still got 1 billion battles left. I think we'll go down until we have like 30 battles remaining or something. I don't think I'm gonna run all of them tonight. But we'll keep delving a little deeper. Alright, kill that out, get our mana, get a Devour, get a Resummon. Well, I don't need Resummon, but get our mana. Keep devouring things one at a time. Yeah, that'd be really quick to get max cash out of. But there's just not enough troops with booty gem mechanic to really utilize the boost ratio, unfortunately. Like, best case scenario, doesn't even have enough damage to one-shot a battle. I keep forgetting, this guy does have double magic. We can actually use them to kill stuff. Other than the boss troop. It'll do 5 times less damage, but it's still a lot of damage. Is he still effectively doing double in a sense instead of 10 times? Which is not as good, but it's still damage. I gotta keep remembering to actually kill that white. He might eventually Deathmark kill my first slot if I don't keep killing him immediately. Wait, does Ruby Weapon have boost ratio based on booty gems? I actually completely forget. Because it's very rare that you ever put another bootier on the Ruby Weapon team. I know it creates a few booty gems. Does it actually have a boost ratio based on it? It does? Ooh. Oh yeah, that would be a scenario that wouldn't be that bad then. Because that's true damage, so it gets a lot more value from every bit of damage it does. It's also a lot more spammable compared to some of the other booty gem mechanics, except that's not the way I wanted to take that. Come on, Iron, get full mana. Come on. There you go. I just want to get rid of the boom pile for a different mana accumulator. 2 explodes with how much mana we need just isn't doing that much. What is doing a lot though is I'm loving the 100% devour rate right off the bat. Feels weird having access to it because you generally don't have that too often for Iron Gut. Like immediate 100% devour rate. It's just nice to not have to deal with the RNG roll that he normally has. Under most circumstances. Which allows him to build up his attack really quickly too, so we can start getting the skull pokes over the place. The only big downside of this team if we get very mega deep is we might take too much damage before we get the team off the ground. And it might be safer to replace Flaming Ani eventually with Stealthy Hero. Just in case the Maelstrom Daganov somehow gets full mana by the time we get rolling. Or the Rocky Daganov, I mean. I keep going at Maelstrom because it's the one that the player gets. But they all have a different name based on what raid week it is. Which changes what their ability does. That one creates a bunch of like brown giant gems or something. It still keeps all the core mechanics though, like Submerge, immune to like literally everything. Stuff like that. Yeah, kill an enemy and create 4 brown mana potion gems. Which are actually kind of scary because that can loop into himself and other troops pretty nicely. Assuming they break. But that's actually decently scary. Luckily he hasn't gotten a single cast off, but that can kind of start to loop out of control if he does get a cast off. As long as 2 of those break, he basically gets full mana back. Also, one other thing that can happen if we get mega deep into a raid event. No, I'm not sure if we're going that deep. If I'm not mistaken, doesn't a raid event keep scaling like forever? Because if it does, you would eventually reach a battle where our Iron Gut would actually be threatened. Like him getting a Devour wouldn't even be enough durability. Because they would have like 1,000 attack pretty much, or really close to it. Wait, some emotes scale a little bit differently. I kind of forget how Raid does because I haven't done it in so long. Because normally we just do like tier 4, tier 5 or something. But this week we're doing tier 6 plus 2. Yeah, game plan at this point is get down to 30 battles and I'll just do the rest later. Because otherwise we're going to be here for another like 2 hours probably. And I still need to go grab dinner. Because of course we keep getting Valhawks along the way. Which is even more battles. It stops at boss level 987. Okay, so it doesn't scale infinitely then. That's good. Isn't 987 basically 1,000 all stats though? Like that has to be pretty close to 1,000 all stats. It's definitely absurdly high. And that's one thing that's nice as well. If you don't take any damage from something that has an on-skull effect, you actually do not get applied with those effects. So right there, the white thing actually ended up hitting us. But because it hit on barrier, it did not apply any negative debuffs. That's always been a thing, but I'm so glad it is. If they do even 1 damage to you, it will apply all the debuffs. But as long as they hit 0, all on-skull effects do not trigger at all. As they very specifically have to do at least 1 damage to trigger their effect. Doesn't matter how much damage, but it has to be at least 1. As long as 0, they do not apply. Which gives a little extra barrier benefit to barrier in some situations. But also ultimately makes skull spam teams a little bit weaker, but more counterable. Almost like how Submerge works for like AoE teams. You can kind of use barrier on skull effect teams to kind of counter them a little bit that way. I will do that. Get our explosion. Double weight is really annoying though. Wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing like 4 of them or 3 of them with the boss troop. There's a whole team of whites. It's probably the most annoying unit we're gonna have to deal with. As has the highest chance of just randomly killing us with Deathmark. Still unlikely, but it's within the realm of possibility. Alright, kill that out. Good to go. Yeah, Doomskull spam teams do bypass it. As the +5 and +10s from Doomskulls and Uber Doomskulls still apply through reduction. So let's say something has 80% reduction. It would still end up applying the damage beyond that. It's just a flat number. It doesn't get reduced like the skull damage does. So you can kind of use that to bypass the barrier thing to still apply your effect. I gotta be careful. That thing actually had full mana there. I gotta keep remembering to kill it out immediately. The thing's actually really threatening. As it does have access to infinite loop this time around. Like if it casts once, it could literally cast 4 times, potentially. Which is pretty much raids in a nutshell. Especially if you get to the later battles. Every battle is basically just a timer against the boss troop. A timer against it getting full mana and casting. In earlier battles, it's not really as much of a factor. But if you're going like really deep into a raid event, that's pretty much the whole premise of a raid event. Is you're up against a timer against the raid troops' full mana. Oh, we haven't lost one yet, but we're not at the super hard battles yet. Let's see, what level are we up to? We're up to level 355. And someone said earlier that it goes up to 987. Sushi Ninja and Bill. So we're only like 1/3 the stats that they're going to have. Which means by the end, they're going to have like all 900s then. It's pretty scary, because that means they could 2-shot us on first slot. That might actually be an angle to go move Iron Gut back or something. Maybe get rid of Boom Pile for something else, I'm not sure yet. Because we will eventually get deep enough where having Iron Gut in first slot is too high of a liability. But the inverse downside of that is if we don't have him in first slot, we don't get all the skull damage. But the problem is if Iron Gut dies, we lose all of our damage output. Because it would take forever to try to kill with Lord Gopthi. Anything other than the raid troop. Because the whole thing that's giving us speed is Iron Gut devouring everything. Oh, but I should have taken that purple for... Well, I guess we have auto extra turn, doesn't matter. There we go. Yeah, 987 is a really weird stopping point. I think they did that just to give room to not make literally all stats 1,000. Otherwise, that'd be a little bit weird. If every troop just had 1,000 all stats or something. I think that's the main reason why they stopped before it. Just so that the unique stat distribution of each troop gives a little bit of variability. Otherwise, literally every trip you'd be facing would just be straight thousands, rather than a little bit of variable stats. That's the only reason I could think of why they did that. Hello, Defiant! Welcome, welcome, welcome. I was trying to set up a skull there, didn't end up getting it. Oh, what am I doing? Just skull right there. There we go. Oh, I should have taken yellow first. Whoops. So used to everything having an extra turn, but you actually have to take an extra turn from the board to get an extra turn. Goblin teams aren't that strong. They don't just get free extra turns for taking triples. Though there was a bug way back in the day that let you do that. There was a bug with troops that gained extra turn on ability and extra turn on the board that for a short duration of time would stack infinite extra turns. Because every time that you took an extra turn both from the ability and from your board, from the board at the same time, like, you know, something that creates gems but also has extra turn on their ability, would keep stacking +1 extra turn. Which means you could take like 5 3 pairs in a row, but it stacked all the extra turns from before. There weren't too many troops in the game that were able to do that at the time. But it basically allowed you to stack infinite extra turns, where you could take a 3 and still count as an extra turn because you still had stacked turns. They only lasted for about a couple months or so. And the options to do it were way weaker than what we have these days, that's for sure. It was within like the first year or two of the game. And of course, it was mostly goblins that were able to utilize it. Yeah, luckily nothing here is really that scary with high magic level. That's one thing that's actually not that bad about this game mode. Or at least this week. Is the Rocky Dagonoff's kind of scary. But aside from the white, we don't really care about most of these. Like, they're not really doing that much. Even once they end up hitting pretty much max stats. It's mostly the boss troop triggering multiple times in a row that's the only really big concern. Yeah, it really feels weird going this deep into this event. Honestly, I almost feel like doing it all right now. I'm considering it just to get it out of the way. That way we just have to do the dailies for the rest of the week. It's actually pretty fun. We don't get to do this too often. But since we're down a little bit on the guild right now for number of players, gotta contribute more than normal. It did cost quite a few gems too. I think buying this deep costs 2,350 gems. Which is obviously not something we do too often, but might as well. I was wanting to do this for Journey event, though we already got the achievement. Journey event probably has the most interesting scaling that we haven't gotten to see. Because they end up tweaking it since the last time we went super deep in it. Whereas every other game mode that we've gone deep in before is still the same. Like, this is still the same from when we did this, like, 7 years ago, back when Raid Event still came out. Whereas Journey Event has actually been tweaked quite a bit since we last went super deep into it. Which we mostly just did for the one achievement. As there is actually an achievement for going deep into that game mode. It's the only one, oddly enough. Raid Event doesn't have it, Invasion Event doesn't have it, all those other ones don't have it. But there actually is an achievement for going super deep on Journey Event. It is a bit easier ever since they changed the scoring system and everything for it, though. But we did it back when it first launched, like the first week or second week, whatever it was. And we've done that for pretty much every game mode when they came out. It just that's the most recent one of them is Journey Event. But scoring has been tweaked pretty heavily since we last did it. Whereas raid event back then is still the same as is now. Invasion event's still the same, stuff like that. Journey's the only one that really got an overhaul since then. I do have to say, this is a really good event week to go really deep, though. We have insta-kill, we have infinite extra turn. Got decent mana accumulators. Really chill week to be doing this. We could have had a way, way worse event week. But good thing this one's pretty easy. Relative to other options that could have happened. Because, of course, most raid troops don't have extra turn. This is the second one in the whole game that even has it. That alone is already so strong. Because otherwise, you'd have to give up your turn every time you want to hit the Maelstrom Dagannoth. And it's not too big a deal when you can one-shot him. But the issue with that is when you need to start two-shotting him. There's a very big liability in most other raid events. But in this raid event, it shouldn't be that big a deal as long as we have other mana accumulators. Because if we don't one-shot him, we just go and hit our mana accumulator and just go get our mana back. Whereas in most other raid event weeks, you would lose your turn, which would give him some guaranteed time to go get mana. And then, of course, the time to go get your mana back if you don't already have a way to do so. So this event week's honestly the easiest we could have hoped for. For grinding it out. Yeah, String Fiddler with its silence and mass mana accumulation is pretty good. I was almost even considering putting this on the team over top of the Boom Pile. Because Boom Pile's not really doing that much. I also am considering putting like String Fiddler or something on it. Just to offset our mana accumulation a bit. Because the problem with Boom Pile is he's mostly just giving us mana up front. Once we actually start looping, he's not really contributing much to the loop. His amount of mana accumulation is pretty underwhelming. He's only really helping to get it off the ground. His effect also does a little bit less since we're already getting 4 explodes at the start of battle. So his 2 explodes are doing a lot less value compared to if you're doing it in a normal battle. Because there's a few initial explodes are the ones that give you the most amount of value. Having +2 on 4 isn't really doing that much. Like, it's helping, but it's not helping as much compared to, like, 2 when you have 0. Like, getting 2 on 0 is way more powerful. Oh, we finally don't one-shot. That's concerning. It finally happened. But getting 2 on 0 is way more beneficial than getting 2 on 4. Oh, no, 2 on 6, I mean. No, 2 on 4. Yeah. Because initially we would have 4, but it's bringing it to 6. But that does a lot less than if we had 0 and it moved to 2. Which is what would happen on a normal battle, but this isn't a normal battle. Yeah, that journey achievement, honestly, is probably one of the top 5 hardest ones to do in the game. As it requires you to have quite a bit of stats to be able to do it. As well as access to whatever the meta is for the current journey event. Because you have to go pretty deep for it, even after the adjustments they made. It used to be even harder in the past as well, but they made it a little bit easier with the journey changes. They made journey scale a little bit slower compared to in the past. Like, it still scales as high as it did in the past, but it scales at a slower rate, which makes getting the achievement a little bit easier. But they also since then have nerfed the journey troops into the ground. But even with that change, I would say that they're kind of easier now than they were before. But you need to have access to whatever the good options are for the given week. As you can't depend on the journey troop to fully carry your team like you could in the past. Because before you could literally just build a team out of just a journey troop. Like legitimate teams were literally just like hero with like 3 journey troops on it. That was the main reason why they nerfed it so much. Is there was a lot of event weeks if you just didn't have the options, or if there weren't any options, you would just run 3 at a journey troop. But now you never run more than 1. Mostly because you have to run at least 1. Yeah, we're finally at the point where we actually can die these battles now. As he no longer gets one-shotted. But unlike every other raid troop, this thing has auto extra turn, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. As if we get lucky enough, we're never actually going to give him a turn. It's just going to take slightly longer to kill him. But in best case scenario, it never even gets a turn to begin with. Yeah, we go for the hit now. One other thing that you can do in raid events, so I don't believe we have access to it this week. You can drag the raid troop to first slot, and then move this to first, and then put Iron Gut to a safer location. I don't believe we have a goblin that can do that, though. Or a Zacian weapon. So unfortunately, we can't do that, I don't think. I don't know, am I forgetting one? I don't believe we have an option for that. Not under goblin, or, you know, not under Zacian. Like, obviously options exist, just not under the category we have this week. Because if we could, we would replace Zarg Boom Pile with something that could drag him to first slot, and then move Lord Gopthi to first. And then we could do 5 times skull damage to the boss. But you need access to either a weapon or a troop that can consistently drag something in the first slot. Which unfortunately goblins do not have. How about add another raid troop to the team? We could. We'd have to give up some of our mana accumulation to do that, though. But it is definitely an angle as well, because it would get enchanted to full mana. Because this isn't a game mode that penalizes you for using multiple of the same. Which I believe the only game mode in the game that does that is Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter, you have to use unique bounty troops, otherwise it penalizes you. You can't just spam like 3 or 4 of the same bounty troop. They all have to be unique. But aside from Bounty Hunter, I believe you are allowed to multi-up on every other game mode without being penalized. You don't get any extra benefit for doing so, but you don't get penalized either. It's only Bounty Hunter that directly penalizes you. Because if we were to run double of him, the benefit of that is we would naturally get him upgraded with enchant. Though the biggest downside, of course, is we lose all mana accumulation from Boom Pile every turn, which we're still using for Iron Gut. Because the battle still keeps going after the raid troop dies, of course. We still need to get Iron Gut back up to mana twice. I guess maybe a little bit less depending on how many skulls we get. But most battles we're going to have to cast Iron Gut twice, if not 3 times. Kill 2 with Devour and 1 with Skull, ideally. Because even if we could double cast him with 2 of them, we'd still have to double cast Iron Gut, which has an even higher mana cost. That's the main reason I'm just doing it this way with this guy. As it's way easier to get 12 mana than it is to get 24 twice over. Though I probably should have exploded there so we didn't block on blue. I keep forgetting, I can literally use Iron Gut's attack value to kill him too. He doesn't have 5 times scroll damage, but he can still hit it. I keep forgetting about that. It's not like he has 100% scroll reduction or something. Oh no, he's getting a lot of mana. Looking a little scary already. Now, let me get rid of that mana drainer just in case it wants to do something. Get that killed so it can't kill us. Get the explodes going. Hey, I needed that. I was using that mana. Wow, does that do full mana drain? I thought it was just like 7 or something. Oh, wow. Oh, we gotta be really careful to kill that troop then. I didn't realize it was that much. Wait. That's actually a lot. I needed that mana. Yeah, drain their whole mana. And gain half of it. Which is really annoying, because that means he gets to double cast if he does that. Because he has exactly 22 mana, which goes into his 11. So not only does he get a full mana drain, but he gets all his mana back if he mana drains our full mana Flaming Ani. Alright, that's really bad. We gotta start killing him immediately. I didn't realize his ability was that good. In a normal battle, you'd pretty much never use that. But in the context of a high-level raid, because the stats are so high, he's actually a bit of a liability. That would never be worth it over other mana drainers in the game, though. You know, in a normal team. But he's basically the highest priority other than the white being in first slot. Just to get rid of all those big mana drainers out of the way. Also, I gotta keep remembering, I gotta do mana accumulation before I cast Iron Gut. Because I gotta make sure this guy gets back to full mana before the Maelstrom Dagannoth ever gets full mana. So after our first Iron Gut cast, I then need to go and... If I get him a second time, I need to not cast it until he does his ability a second time. Just so we're not blocking it. Like right here, if I get Iron Gut the full mana again, I need to very specifically not cast it before this thing gets its mana. It's like right here I need to not cast. Well, unless he's about to cast, in which case I do have to cast. Oh, you're getting way too much mana. You're getting a very scary amount of mana there. This might be a problem. This might be a problem. Because you need full mana, like, right now. Oh, yeah, you got it. You're good. Problem averted. I wonder what a perfect score is for raid event right now. It's hard to tell which one of these went perfect. I don't know, where's the round where the cutoff is? Okay, if I had to guess, perfect is 900 or 295,816. But maybe not, because this person has one battle further than that. And this one has a few battles further. So maybe all these had the same amount of losses then? Like, it's hard to tell. But there's a 4-way tie at 295,816. Which makes me want to think that's what perfect is for how many tiers we bought. I'm not sure. Head start? No. Well, we didn't get a head start. These are just all from tier 6. I don't know, does anyone even buy the head starts? They seem extremely not worth. All the stats and everything we have is from buying tier 6 plus 2. Which is 2,350 gems. That's something we do too often, but we need to help out the guild since we're down a few people. Compared to normal. But I forgot what it's like going this deep in an event like this. It feels really weird actually having a challenge. Because normally if you're just doing like tier 4, tier 5 or so to help out your guild, it's very free. Like you never get to the point where the battles get even remotely hard. At least with endgame stats and everything. But these are starting to get to the point where we can actually legitimately lose them. And we're only like halfway there on stats right now. It goes all the way to 987. We're only like halfway there. As far as how much it ramps up to. I could take in purple for free value there, but that's fine. I haven't bought a head start since they've nerfed Journey. I don't know, what's the head start give you? I believe it gives you some copies of the shiny troop. In this case, it would be shiny copies for him. It gives you some kind of unique buff that you can only get from the head start. And I think it gives you like some sigils or something to go use or something like that. I forget what the buff is though. I don't think it was anything too relevant. But it gives you some kind of like heroic buff or whatever they call it. I'm not sure. I never actually gotten it a single time ever. Never really seemed that worth it. Unless you just really wanted to like max out the shiny troop for something. This guy does gain a decent amount of benefit from being upgraded. It's one of the reasons I was even considering not doing all the battles tonight. Because having him down to 11 mana cost instead of 12 would be a pretty nice improvement. Since a lot of these battles are depending on us casting him twice. And for example, if he was 11 mana cost right now, we'd already have his ability. But because he's at 12, we don't. Yeah, I believe it gets you enough to get to like shiny level 1 or 2 if you buy the head start or something. That's like the main appeal of getting it. But you can just do that with shiny keys. Like right now, if I wanted to max him out, we literally could. I just don't feel like it's worth it. There will be some use cases for him in the future, but he's not going to be used that often. But he will be used in pretty much any battle where you are allowed to use him, where you specifically need to kill a boss. Like a Maelstrom Dagannoth or a Catharix or something similar. Oh, nice Lucky Skull. Saving us a turn. We're down to 30. I was saying earlier I might stop here, but honestly, I might just go all the way. Oh wow, we're almost done as a guild from how many points we're getting. That's actually kind of funny. Well, we're making up for all the slack this week. Yeah, that's a lot of points, especially if we get exactly as many as he does. We're going to get another 200,000 points then. Which means we alone will get it like all the way to like there or something. With all the points that we're going to be doing with the rest of them. Because we're going to get about another 200,000. Which is like right around there in that bar. Which is already the final reward, not counting the, you know, the stretch 4. Final reward in the previous system. Oh yeah, how deep do we have to go to get the shiny chirp? I meant to check that while I was in that menu. I don't think we get access to it tonight. We're gonna get deep, but I don't think we're gonna get that deep. At least as a guild. Our personal score is gonna be absurdly high, but as a guild, I don't think we're quite at the point of getting him the free shiny level. I'm gonna go double check. Yeah. It's all the way over there. 0 chance we hit that tonight. Even if like 3 other people in our guild started doing exactly what we're doing right now, that would not be enough to reach that within the next hour. But once we do reach that, that reduces his mana cost by 1. Yeah, my main reason for not using shiny keys a lot of time, unless the troop is like mega ultra deluxe broken, is mostly because once you get something to shiny level 3, you just get shiny dust. And shiny dust is worth like 1/10 of a normal token. So every time you roll that troop, you're basically getting 10 times less value. So the troop has to be very absurdly over the top good for it to be worthwhile. And while this is a really good troop for killing raid troops in the future, the only big benefit you get from fully maxing him is 10 mana cost instead of 11. Is effectively the only real big benefit you would get. Compared to, you know, the free amount of shininess you would get by the end. And I don't feel like that's worth it for just 1 lower mana cost. Because his enhanced ability, I believe, is just making his bleed boost ratio better. Which in a lot of situations where you would use him, you would not be able to utilize that at all. So the only benefit you're really getting is 1 lower mana cost, essentially. And I don't feel like that's worth it for him. It's way too niche for it. It would definitely be useful in the future, but you're going to be bringing it out like a few times a year going forward. Like, you know, after this event week. I could bring him out a few times a year, and that's probably it. But no, I've mostly been saving my shiny keys for like the mega broken shinies. I did it for Urk, Lurk, and Dirk. I'm trying to think what else I did it for. I actually don't even remember. But I know Urk, Lurk, and Dirk was the last one I did it for. I was mentioning him some in the video too. He's basically a Wish Gem mechanic that's stronger than the Wish Gem Mythic. It's basically half the mana cost when at max shiny, for an ability that's literally stronger than the Mythic at half the mana cost. He doesn't have as good of a final trait, but his ability is stronger and half the mana cost when max shinied. The other reason I was waiting too is for more of the Legend and Mythic tokens to be in drop table as well. I mentioned that a long while back, that we try to refrain from opening as many shiny keys until Legends and Mythics were in the drop table. Of course, since then, those two mechanics have come into the game. But not too many Legends and Mythics have actually come into the game that are in drop table by now. As they take a bit, like a couple months after the fact before they actually get populated in the drop table. So for example, the Legend that was in the most recent Guild War is not in drop table at the moment. Like, you can't get that from shiny drop table yet. And I believe there's only 2 Mythics in the drop table, or 1. Because I'm not sure if the other one's in the drop table yet either. I think the only one that might be in drop table is the very first season. Because I'm not even sure if it's been long enough for the other one to even get into drop table yet. I'm not sure. I know the very, very first one is. I can't remember the other ones were, though. As I generally don't check the drop table that often. Because I could have sworn they said like 3 months after the campaign ends or something. Which is basically by the time the 2 campaigns after its campaign, basically. Because I still don't have a single shiny Mythic maxed yet. Because buying the normal pass only gives you enough to get shiny level 2, not shiny level 3. So I actually haven't maxed a single shiny Mythic yet. So I don't really feel like most of them were worth going for. Alright, what am I doing here? We need mana. Oh, there we go. Or Skull. Skull also works. Alright, 26 more battles to go, which means probably like 40-ish, if not more. Well, we're second place in the guild right now. And we should be tied or slightly higher than the beer if we get perfect. I'm not sure if this is perfect, but they're tied with like 4 other people, so it might be perfect. I don't know, we'll find out when we get there, because I don't believe we've lost any score yet. Oh no, does Raid Event have any kind of mechanic where you lose small amount of score? I don't believe it does. Other than if Valhawk escapes. But I don't believe there's anything that actually diminishes your score, other than losing or losing a Valhawk. It was before the time where they started to nitpick all your score away from various mechanics. All you have to do is win and make sure the thing doesn't escape. I don't believe this game mode matters at all, how much you win by or anything. Like, we could lose a troop and I'm pretty sure we don't lose any score for this game mode. As long as we don't lose the whole battle outright. Only if you do true damage you lose score. Oh, yeah, it's based on damage, isn't it? Wait, is Iron Guts Devour calculating correctly? I assume it is. I know they fixed it in the past. Because they actually fixed it for the old Guild War system, I believe. So that insta-kill would actually give you the full points of damage. Because at one point it wasn't. Wait, does that mean you could farm score from things gaining HP? Wait, how does that work then? Because what if they gain durability? Like, for example, their first slot can gain HP. Does that count as damage? It's not worth trying to wait for him to cast, though. But if he was to naturally do so... Oh, yeah, it does. It's only boss damage that matters. I forgot. It's literally only tracking boss damage. Not total damage. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done raid event properly. Normally I just do bare minimum, get in, get out. It's been a long while. Like, honestly, I don't think I've ran a raid this deep since, like, the first few weeks raid event came out. Like, several years ago. I think it was the last time we ever went this deep in a raid event. We also didn't have access to nearly this much power back in the day. It was definitely way harder compared to now. Though this is also a pretty easy event week. We have auto extra turn on the raid troop. We have insta-kill options. We have auto extra turn mana accumulators and resummon on the mana accumulators. We have turn 1 and literally every turn free mana accumulation. Like, this is very free compared to in the past. Alright, what level are we at right now? We're at 615. Max level is at 987, so we're like 2/3 of the way to max stats right now. So we're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. Let me take a red and try to cascade a green. No, I didn't get it. Alright, let me make sure the other guy gets full mana before I cast it. Good. Do that. Do that. And smooth sailing from here. Highest priority is always going to be Valhawk and the Daganov. Next priority would be if there's a Wraith first slot. And then the fourth priority would be if there's that one mana drainer guy. And from there we can pretty much kill them in any order. Good thing there's nothing with immune to devour here, otherwise this would be a lot more annoying. So highest priority here would be this guy. Second highest priority would be mana drainer because this is not in first slot. Then this because it might eventually become first slot, and then the other guy because it does nothing. But a lot of these game modes, once you get to the higher stats, is pretty much the main thing you just have to do. You just prioritize everything in kill order and then just kill them. Based on how big of a threat they are. Oh, I forgot to take green. I mean yellow. I don't think that's going to matter too much though, luckily. That could backfire if he wasn't blocked by mana though. Gotta be really careful with that. Because he might eventually get full mana from doing that. Oh, I forgot to go get my mana I needed. Let me take a purple surge. Oh no, 1 mana short. Wait, I'm on -1 purple? Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that actually. I could actually be a bit of a liability this deep. I might need to change the banner slightly. Just out of the rare circumstance where I actually need that purple surge. Yeah, let me switch to this double green here. Which I was going to originally do anyways. That's a really high liability if we can't get full mana. That'd be fine if we had 11 mana cost on him, but we currently don't have that. Let me go on double green. If we did, I'd probably keep this banner. Or change it back. But I do need to switch to double green here in case we are in that scenario again. Just in case. As I very much need him to be full mana in that scenario. Wrong way. Oh no. Skull, do we care about Skull? Oh no, we'll deny him on Skull, I guess. Oh yeah, I gotta be careful with his alignment. He hasn't actually landed that yet, but green and purple can actually be a little bit of a problem. Oh, you know what else that does that's really problematic? We get way less mana accumulation now. Ooh. That's a slight problem. Still have to do it though on the weaker board. I just need the mana. Hey, I denied all my green. I need those greens. I was using those. I should have iron gutted before I did that. I could have gotten free value on the hit. But oh yeah, we'll take a skull. They do have to be careful. The more we kill, the less he's blocked on mana. Oh, that guy needs full mana. We'll grab it there. We'll kill that out. Kill that out. We're good to go. Ruby and Rope Dart is useless in this mode. Ruby's fine for the earlier battles. Rope Dart would technically be fine if you're on a Pride Lands event week. Because then you could put the raid troop in first slot. But a lot of other troops that aren't Rope Dart probably wouldn't be worth running in this mode. Because you wouldn't want to give up your turn for it. But having auto extra turn for it's not bad. Like if I could replace this with a Rope Dart equivalent, I would. This is probably the troop on our team doing the least amount of value is Zarg's Boom Pile right now. Not that it's doing none, but it's definitely doing the least out of anything on this team. Alright, 23 more sigils. We're more than halfway there. We should be able to see him hit max stats soon as well. He's at 651 right now. And max is slightly under 1,000. Also, one of the few situations where we do kill Valraven before the other guy. It's just too important to make sure the bird doesn't get away. Like, it's more valuable to lose Iron Gut than to let the bird run away. Ideally, neither would happen. But if you had to choose one or the other, it's better to let Iron Gut die than let the bird run. Because worst comes to worst, we have infinite resummon off of Flaming Ani. As long as Flaming Ani doesn't die, we win. So as long as Maelstrom Dagannoth is dead, and Flaming Ani is alive, we basically can't lose. Guess we'll just keep resummoning a new team. It's mostly Maelstrom Dagannoth, or Maelstrom, whatever it is, Rocky Dagannoth hitting our Flaming Ani, which would cause a lose result very soon after. But otherwise, we could literally lose Iron Gut and it would just slow down the battle. We wouldn't actually outright lose the battle, as long as he's already dead. Oh no, no target! Oops, I should have waited. He denied my green again. I gotta start paying attention to that more often. The troop's actually really annoying. Alright, grab the rest of the purple we need, kill that out. Grab the free green. I gotta start paying attention when he's in the battle. Otherwise our Flaming Ani gets no value, which is very bad. Also, seeing 1,000 all stats Iron Gut is so nice. I guess his attack didn't quite get there. Also, obviously, his magic didn't get there because he doesn't actually steal magic. At least 1,000 for his HP armor is pretty nice. We will start to see 1,000 attack once we get really deep low. By the time we hit the 1,000 area. Oh, I should have taken the brown first. Whoops. That would be free, full mana by then. Luckily, as Enchant and combined with the Explode, you should have full mana guarantee next turn anyways. Oh, I forgot, we don't lose our turn. I'm so used to raid troops ending their turn. I was like expecting an end turn there, but I keep forgetting. He has auto extra turn. Which is very rare. This is the only kingdom that has access to auto extra turn raid troops. There's actually 2 of them now. The previous one that used to be here, and now the new Lord Gopthi. The Lord Gopthi is better than the other guy, though. Both because of shininess, but also he has extra boost ratio. Also, I didn't bother giving him Striker. The main reason being is I already upgraded his kingdom. But we can actually give him 3 extra magic, which is technically 15 more damage. The main reason I didn't is we're going to have to 2-shot anyway, so it doesn't really seem worth it. If we have to 3-shot, but 15 more damage would allow us to 2-shot, then I would probably go upgrade him. But unless that's the scenario, there's really no point in upgrading him for this. All it would do is allow you to 1-shot for like 2 more battles or something. More than we otherwise would have been able to. But if it's a difference between a 2-shot and a 3-shot all the way at the end, then we'd probably do it. I don't think it would matter, though. I'm pretty sure we're still 2-shot by the end. I sure hope so. But if the extra magic is enough by the end, then we will go upgrade them. It's probably not needed, though. Actually, no point even casting that. Actually, I say that now it is. Because now he dies to burn. Deliberately pass our turn. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Iron Gut does 4 true damage every time you do brown. I forgot about that. I keep forgetting this guy even has a final trait. But yeah, he's like the Flower Dragons. Actually, it's the same ability as the Flower Dragons, oddly enough. Just with a different name. But he steals 4 life whenever you take a brown. Same as the other ones to their corresponding color. I completely forget that's even a thing. Because very rarely is that enough damage to kill, but it was that time. Yeah, we're almost at max stats. I think we only have like a dozen or 2 more battles to go. We should hit it before we run out of sigils. Yeah, we're at 700 on the dot. And it goes to like 987 or something. We're almost there. But I need to start putting that thing on the priority list of things to kill, the Empower guy. Because getting all of our green denied is kind of annoying, given that he explodes them. Alright, can we get some skull value? Come on, anything, just whack it out. That should be enough mana. One of the few times Boom Pile gets a lot of value. Though we could have just done our other thing and just exploded the board. Alright, 21 more to go, which is probably like 30 something. And when in the next 2 dozen, we should see max stats. Let's see, how much did it improve by? Okay, it's going up by 10-ish. Not sure if it's doing that every time. Is it consistently going up by 10 every time? I haven't even paid attention to it. Oh, we'll throw that down. I probably should have waited to get the other guy to full mana. Alright, let me just outright take the purple then. Nice, double purple, though I think 1 would have already been enough. Since we changed the banner to be correct recently. Ooh, not full mana. Taking red over there is a trap. I guess we'll stick it over there then. But we gotta be careful with their skull value. They're hitting 206 right now. By the time we reach the end, they're probably hitting 400 something. Because I forgot, these guys don't actually upgrade as much as the Daganov guy does. That's the main thing that's gonna make this game mode actually not as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Because these guys are way lower level. The Daganov might have been 710, but these guys are like half their level. So by the end, these guys are only going to be like 400 something. Unlike the Daganov, that's going to be all the way at 987 or something. But yeah, that's such a weird number. Why did they make it that number then? Why not make it like 990 or something? That's so weird. Because it does seem like it's incrementing by 10 every time. But it ends at 987 for some reason. That's such a weird number. Will I go over my missing troops? I can go over them real quick. Most of them are just events I've been skipping to save gems. A good number of them. I gotta be careful to not give free skulls soon. We're at a point where giving them free skulls might actually be a liability soon. I was doing it earlier because they were nowhere near close to killing us, but they're actually kind of getting a little close to killing us. Honestly, I was considering taking that for purple, but I guess not. Can I take green to red? I want to try. Didn't get it. Alright, full mana, grab that. Kill that before it does something. Kill that before it does something. Well, actually, that one can't. And I just need to find a skull. Well, there's a skull. I needed 2, though. There we go. Should have specified. An actual skull pair. But yeah, here's everything we're missing so far. It's not too many. 2 Guardian troops, but they mentioned, even though it's not coming in 9.0, these will be easier to obtain in the future. You'll be able to craft them in Soulforge in some way. So once they come to Soulforge, we should be able to get these 2 pretty easily down the line. Somehow missing Immortal Gemini from like 4 PvP seasons ago. Oh no, let's see if we can get Immortal Gemini today. Which reminds me, let me go run my Oh no, I can't run my deep books yet, can I? No, the PvP season didn't reset. Yeah, I can run my debooks. I'm gonna go run my debooks real quick. Not purple, sad. Alright, but while we're here, I was gonna go see if we could run a Gemini. This is from like 3 to 4 seasons ago, and we still haven't rolled it. Not it. Not it. But I'm still missing Immortal Gemini. It just refuses to drop for some reason. I might be one of the driest person in the entire game for Immortal Gemini. This is like 3 or 4 PvP seasons ago. I've gotten literally every other Mortal that's come out the week of, or, you know, the season of. This is from like 3 to 4 PvP seasons ago, and I still have 0 copies of it somehow. I don't know how. It just does not want to drop. But other things we're missing, other than Immortal Gemini. So the 2 Sentinel troops, but these will be easier to get in the future through Soulforge somehow, as well as the fact that we're going to be doing a lot more Underspire soon, so that will also give us more chances to get them naturally, even if they're not in Soulforge yet. Mortal Gemini is just really bad unluckiness on PvP. A lot of these legends and mythics that we're missing here are all PvP mythics that just haven't rotated yet. I'm surprised this guy didn't. He was actually pretty early on. This is just one of the more recent Guardian troops from Underworld. We could probably shard him pretty soon, so that's pretty easy to go get. This was the most recent bounty event. I just didn't end up doing it. Oh, you know, I did the free battles, but I didn't do anything else into it. So we can get him in key drop table somewhat soon. This one's probably already in key drop table if we want to go for it. I think this was the season before. Oh no, this was the season before. This was the most recent one. So this was 2 bounties ago. This was 1 bounty ago. So I might actually be able to get him right now. And this is, wait, which one is this one? Oh, I think this was one of the PvP mythics, right? What, I forget what this one even is. I'm pretty sure it's a PvP mythic. But it's basically all PvP legends and mythics. The only ones that aren't a PvP legend and mythic is somehow going super dry on Immortal Gemini, 2 Guardian troops that will hopefully have a way to be crafted in Soulforge sometime in the next year, and 2 bounty troops that we deliberately skipped. Oh, and 1 faction troop that I could just shard in the near future. But yeah, let me go see if I can use it in drop table. That's the only one I could probably go for right now without going out of our way. Yep, I got it already. There we go, easy. But that's what the other ones are from then. And then every other thing that we're missing right now is wait until they're in Soulforge, get better RNG in PvP, wait until all the PvP legends and mythics rotate, get this guy because we skipped the event and get him from curse shards later, and do this like how we just got the other one, just throwing some gold keys later once he's in drop table. He's currently not in drop table yet. And everything else is just legends and mythics from Soulforge, I mean from PvP that never rotated. But we're not missing much. And these 2 are already confirmed to have an easy way of getting, so where you can actually get to a point where we have all troops again if we really want to push for it on a given few months. I just got to make sure to do all the events related to various side troops. But once we catch up on Legends Mythics, and once they add these to Soulforge, yeah, we'll be completely caught up with all troops again. And all weapons, I believe we've had for a while, not counting immortal weapons. Which requires getting every immortal really high upgraded. Well, not high, I think it's like level 6 or 7. These we might never have again, because you'd have to do a lot of paid PvP to do that consistently. But I'm missing it for 10 of them right now. Pets, we should be missing just the immortal pets. Yeah, I'm just missing 7 immortal pets here. And yeah, that's all we're missing across the entire game then. Got all banners. I'm not sure why it's saying we're missing 1 team slot. We're missing all the troops that we showed earlier. We're missing just the immortal weapons. And we're missing just the immortal pets. Yeah, that's everything we're missing currently. Mostly just immortals. Like, it's almost all PvP related, basically, what we're missing. Like, 95% of everything we're missing is just the new immortal system, since it's somewhat paywalled away if you want to get it immediately, which we haven't been doing. But anyways, let's go back to the raid. Where are we at? See how we doing as a guild? We almost got the 9th one done. Getting very close. Grab all that for now. Alright, let's keep going. Got 19 more battles. Ugh. Alright, what do we need here? Let's grab red. Get the ball rolling. Devour you. Start poking you down. Get a bunch of mana. Don't cast him yet. I need red. See if I can get it from Sky. I'm trying to force this thing to full mana, so I'm trying not to block him. And then we could do that, take that. Actually, I could have exploded first, but that's fine. Do it again. Come on, something to go poke him. Come on. Red from Sky, go. Come on, there's a red storm. You should have given us a red. At some point, we'll get full mana. There we go. A little late. He's pretty much already dead. There we go. 3,000 damage on the dot. And we're up to 740 now. We're almost there. So that means in 24, 25 more battles, about 25 more battles, we'll see him at max stats. So as long as we don't start losing, we should be able to see him at max stats by the end of this. We'll also get to see if that multi-way ties people going perfect on the game mode. I assume it is because it's the 5-way tie. It'd be kind of weird if that isn't a perfect, because that means they all messed up the exact same amount. But I would assume that score is perfect that we saw earlier. I gotta be careful. I still gotta get the other guy to full mana. Oh, duh, it's right there. And then I just explode it then. Okay, we're good to go. Now we grab that, take a poke there, and he's dead. I keep forgetting too, I can do Iron Gut Skull to kill out the last slot. We can kill him with stuff that isn't the boss troop. I keep playing it as if everything does 0 damage to him other than the boss troop. But, you know, we can still whittle him down with other stuff. It doesn't have to be all boss damage. It's just the quickest way to do damage to him. But it's not the only way to do damage to him. Yep, misclick. The biggest misclick is if we somehow accidentally click the Dagonoff. Which I haven't made that mistake yet, but it might eventually happen. Luckily I haven't misclicked that hard yet. Does this guy have armored? No. I was wondering why we were doing full damage to him earlier. I always thought this thing had 25% reduction. But no, he has no reduction at all. He's one of those mini undead troops that because they're forced to have that one undead trait has almost no good traits at all. Not even 25% reduction. Because he has like nothing for traits. Like basically the equivalence of none. Now we'll throw that down. I need green or red. Take it that way and try to get it from Sky. Didn't get it. Still need a little more red. Have no way to, oh no, we can still cascade it. So we'll take that, get our explode. Oh, I should have taken the free purple though. Whoops. I guess I could waste a turn to grab it. I kind of want to explode for it now though. There we go, perfect. Yeah, so far we're on a perfect raid run. Hopefully we can get through the whole event with a perfect. The most likely thing to stop us is, well, just getting really unlucky, but honestly, I feel like it's a Valraven escaping. Is probably more likely than losing a battle. At least with a team comp like this. Luckily, we don't have anything that creates yellow, so we can't accidentally, like, give it a bunch of yellow or something. But something like this is kind of scary. Like, first slot Valhawk. In case it gets a lot of yellow initially. Luckily, we got mana so quick it doesn't even matter at all for this battle. But I feel like we have a higher chance of Valhawk escaping than losing a battle, personally. We can still lose a battle, though. The main thing that would trigger a battle being lost is if Maelstrom Dagonoff immediately just kills out a resummoner. Like, if he finally gets full mana and the first thing he does is just kill our resummoner, that is worst case scenario for a potential lost battle. The other one obviously being if he kills Iron Gut. Or if the troops actually kill Iron Gut before he gets rolling. Because we're kind of deep enough where he kind of can die pretty quickly. Let me double check on our next battle how many skulls it would take for us to die if we got nothing. Obviously, Barrier will keep us protected for 1 hit. This is also assuming we don't die to Death Mark here. I'm not going to put that into account. But I believe we have 25% skull reduction from the thing. So yeah, you know what? We're actually pretty safe from skulls. It would take 3 skulls before they can kill us. So we're actually relatively safe. Even once they get to max stats, it's going to take 3 skulls before the first lot can kill us. That's not bad. All right, we're actually pretty safe when it comes to skulls then. The bigger concern is the death mark from him killing them then. Because their actual skull damage is pretty much never going to be high enough to kill us for the most part. It's more so the death mark that they apply that would kill us before their skull damage would. Because of course, once we get our first Devour, we basically have infinite HP. Maybe not literally infinite, but, you know, enough to not die for a while. So the bigger reliability is going to be more so the death mark than the actual HP value. There's a lot of times he's just going to get to 1,000, so we're kind of safe. Even at the final battle, I think at 1,000, it would take them like 8 skulls to kill us. Not just to break through 1,000, but also to break through barrier, of course, for the initial hit. So it's really just Death Mark that can kill us then. Oh, I can't deny both skulls here. I guess just go for the one that gives us more mana accumulation. But yeah, I think we're actually going to be forced to have to take a skull here, which is kind of unfortunate. Because I gotta avoid getting Death Mark frozen on first slot. It hasn't actually happened a single time yet, which I'm actually kind of surprised. But we're getting to the point where it's possible every battle now. So much so, I need to kill that immediately just to get out of here. Because that's another factor too. Getting frozen on Iron Gut means we don't get extra turn Devour anymore. He'll still have his 100% Devour, but he doesn't get extra turn with it anymore. Yeah, we're almost at max stats. So close, yet so far. I think we're almost at 800. Oh no, we're exactly at 800. And 987 is the highest, so that's 19 more battles from now. And we'll be at the hardest possible point that you can ever get to in raids. On the first day, oddly enough. Alright, I probably should have killed the other guy first. Now he's going to deny all my mana, so I can't get mana accumulation, which is kind of annoying. I almost want to bait him out on Skull. It's tempting. Very tempting. I can't not take free Skull, though. I think I'll just take a red here. The problem is he's going to deny all my alignment, and he got extra turn from it. Oh no, this guy should be a little scary. I don't have any green gems to go explode. Well, I do have one, but one's not going to do much. Oh, I forgot to take the extra turn purple. No! At least he didn't get any value directly from it. Alright, let me kill the only thing that can still kill us. Okay, we're safe now. Alright, all is fine. A little sketchy for a moment there, though. Ever so slightly sketchy. And maybe we should prioritize killing the converter a little bit higher. Because that really hinders our Flaming Ani mana accumulation by a lot. Oh, you couldn't get full mana? 1 mana away, really? A little unfortunate. Alright, what do we need here? Grab all the red, explode everything again. Like I say, I would hope that would get full mana. It did. Take a red to red. We can take guarantee red to purple, but I don't really need the purple anymore now that the Ray Troop is dead. Devour that, and now we just try to find a skull somewhere. Nice, 5-time skull, and another skull waiting for us to go take. Alright, we're at level 821. Oh, it's moved by more than 10. It's starting to creep up in a weird number. Alright, Valraven obviously dies first. He's going to convert away my green. So if I could take a green right now, it'd be favorable. Alright, there goes all my green, which is awful. Obviously we devour Valhawk. The only good thing about him creating that much purple is he actually gave me all the purple I need to win. That's the one and only good thing that from what he just did there. Is now we just whack him and we win. Because he basically gave me full purple mana. To be able to get the double cast there. Then we devour that, so we don't get skull reflected. Not like it will really matter at this point, but just to not have to deal with skull reflection there. Will we get a perfect run in raid? I sure hope so. We're pretty close to it. Let's see. We could put a vote up for it. Let's see. 832 on the other guy there. Yeah, it looks like we're about 15 battles away from max stats. Give or take a few. It seems to be scaling a little bit quicker now by like 1 extra level each time. But this team is very strong this week. I feel like it would be more up in the air if it was a harder event week. But this is honestly probably one of the freest raid events we could have possibly tried to grind this on. Like, you pretty much can't ask for a better event week for this. Auto extra turn raid troop. Insta-kill auto extra turn normal troop. Man accumulation and mass resummon. Only thing is really missing is stealthy. And like per turn man accumulation will also still have an extra turn on ability. Like, I'm not even sure if you can get a better raid event week to even do than the one we have right now. That wasn't even in the plan, but it worked out quite conveniently. Oh, wait. Oh, no. We're at the point where we need a triple hit him. Oh, no. Okay, that's a factor. That means even if I go Striker, yeah, that's not going to be enough damage. Ooh, that's a slight problem. I'm actually going to have to Iron Gut him here, which feels really weird. Obviously, we won't get the Devourer, but I need to kill him out. Alright, that's slightly concerning. But yeah, that means we no longer can two-shot him going forward. Even if we got Striker, that only does... How much damage is that? That's 30 total damage if we got him Strikered. A vote here, yes or no? Oh no, we could do a poll for it just for the fun of it. But yeah, that's definitely going to make it harder. Let's see, start a poll. Will we perfect the raid event to level 987, which seems to be max level? Yes or no? Will we perfect the raid event to... Yeah, that should be it. And we should be able to get there within about a dozen battles or so. But yeah, now we need a 3-hit the guy. Which does make this a little bit more concerning, as it gives him a little bit extra time to potentially get full mana. Alright, do I have any way to cascade this? No. I feel like there's a really good move somewheres here, and I'm just not seeing it. I definitely want to take red if we were to only take a singular mana. There's definitely a red angle. I was trying to see if there's anywhere I could take red but still have a really good chance of also getting more red. I'm not seeing one though. At this point I'm just trying to see if we can get any red that even gives us more red. Or more anything, I mean. Because it looks like every single one we could take doesn't really give us much. I could try for double red over here, seems like our best bet. Oh, but then he gets extra turn green though, is the problem. Yeah, there's just not really a good location to go for unless we want to try for it from sky with a green. We can do it that way. Maybe this green over and try for red from sky. Didn't get it. Oh, come on. We got like so much red in that area, but not where I needed it. Alright, we'll go for our Explode. Get Devour on whatever. Take a Skull here. Actually, I need to get Flaming Ani to full mana. Yeah, let him Skull poke us here. That's fine. It's a turn he's not getting Maelstrom Dagonoth mana, so we kind of need it. So we throw that poke down on him. That gives him Submerge. That's fine. We then Explode. Keep getting our mana up. Skulls, I think we pretty much just ignore. Because at this point we care about hitting Maelstrom Dagonoth 3 times more so than anything. Did that so we can get full mana for the second hit. This might seem really weird, but I think we overkill here. And just outright kill out the Dagonoth. We're going to have to start doing that now, which is going to feel really awkward. But I got to do a non-Devour poke with Iron Gut to go kill Dagonoth now. This is really important that we kill that out. Maybe we go Striker on the guy if Iron Gut needs the extra damage. Because if the 82 damage from Iron Gut no longer kills Maelstrom Dagonoth, I might need to have Striker for the 30 extra damage on this. So that double poke into Lord Gopthi into 1 Iron Gut is enough damage to kill. Because if that's not enough, but upgrading him would be enough, we got to do that for the final battles. Because it's really important that he dies from that. Alright, I think just a Skull Angle. Can't do it too much with mana at the moment. So we grab all that. A little short on mana there, but we just grab that from there, so it doesn't matter. Grab that. We'll let him live for a turn. I don't think we're that pressed on mana at the moment. Though I say that. Where's all my mana at? Nothing has full mana right now. Yeah, that should be enough to win. We throw that on you. We throw that on you. Alright, how much damage are we up to? Or level? We're at 865. We're almost there. Not quite yet, though. Also, will we even have enough sigils? I sure hope so. Also, of course, Perfect does include killing every Valhawk. Which, of course, we have done at this point. But we do also need to kill every Valhawk for it to still be perfect. Otherwise, we won't have enough sigils to even get there. This looks like a red take angle. He's about to deny all my green, but there isn't really much I could do about that. Oh, but I could make it better by not giving him better value there. I don't know. That gives him value too. The problem is everywhere I could take some mana, it gives him value. Luckily, the purple's just feeding into something useless. That'd be a lot more concerning if it actually fed into something good. Here, it doesn't really matter too much what mana I take. I'll try to get rid of some of this purple, I guess. Alright, right off the bat, you get damaged. You get devoured, so you don't deny it again. You go explode the entire board, so we can get a nice fresh board. You try to find me something. You go explode the board again. Do we have enough damage to kill here? Barely. I think we go for it. Don't take any chances. These two are never going to kill us. It might make the battle take a little longer. But there is not a single world where this thing ends up killing us here. Whereas that thing could if we got unlucky enough still. Especially with enchant on it like it had. Alright, this one should be a Valhawk battle. Yep, there it is. Alright, so obviously that needs to die first. He's about to deny my green to purple twice over. Though two of them being on a team honestly isn't that big a deal. S2 is basically going to do the same thing that 1 does. Alright, so right off the bat, this is going to make mana accumulation a little bit more awkward. Actually, you know what? 2 might actually matter a little bit. Because I have a lot more limited ways of gaining mana. You know what? Let me... this is going to hurt. But I got to kill this before I kill the Valhawk. I can't risk the second cast. And now we can kill the Valhawk. Alright, we're good to go now. I need red or green. And that's match. Let's see, what's the yes no vote on? We're 64% on yes and 36% on no. Now, what level are we up to? Level 887. So if it goes up by 10 every time, in 10 more battles, we will hit max level. So we got to kill every Valhawk and win every battle for 10 more battles. And at that point, we might as well do the rest of them after that as well. Let's see. We'll do that over. Yeah, that'd be great if we can get a perfect raid in. We're very close. Not quite there yet, though. So we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll take the free yellow. Get a free skull from Sky. I could take green to brown and try for brown from Sky. There is a red storm, so it's less likely, but still possible. Didn't get it. We got a red. But hey, free mana's free mana. Grab all that. You need to poke that. You honestly probably need to poke that too. Oh, it's not kill range though. Oh no. Alright, let me go try to find some mana. I need blue and oh, there we go. We got all the blue from Cascade. Perfect. We needed blue and purple there. Alright, that's match. Now we just need to get a little bit more mana and then we went off of that. And then we just devour him. But yeah, so far, we're actually running such a perfect that Maelstrom Dagannoth hasn't even casted a single time yet. He did get full mana once a little bit earlier on, though. But he has yet to even cast, let alone win a battle. Though if he ever does cast, there's a good chance he's going to cast 4 times and we just auto-lose. But he hasn't casted yet at all. Though he did get full mana, I think, twice at this point. But it doesn't matter too much as long as he dies before he does anything with it. Alright, we'll poke that, get the board reset. And then figure out what we need, which I think is just... Oh, I should have taken a purple first. There was a 5 times purple in the middle there. That would have been worth taking. So much so, I actually got to go for the mana now by doing that. And then we can cast that. And then we just need to naturally let him get full mana the following turn. Actually, I think we force it by taking red. So we'll take red here. Get our full mana we need. And now we should be good to go. Just need a... Oh, I should have taken... Oh gosh, a second time now. Or should have taken the 5 times purple this battle. Gotta be careful with that. That and 5 times blue, so we can get the raid troop guy to full. They're almost there, 909. Looks like it'll get there in like 8 more battles. Like 7 or 8. And then we'll finish whatever's left, because at that point we have less than 10. Alright, so right off the bat, obviously that needs to die. Get our mana. Throw a poke on you. See if we can get a cool cascade somewheres. I'm gonna try to do it on the side here. Trying to get these next to each other so I can get the other guy up. I think at this point I do a red vertically here, though. Oh, that does give him guaranteed blue value, though. I gotta take this one. Oh, we could try forward again if we wanted to. I'm very tempted. We're on purple storm right now, but I still kind of want to try for the red there. The problem is it gives him extra turn skull now. Big issue with now is, I guess I go for skull and get full mana that way. Alright, that's fine. Wait, does he have, why didn't we get, hit there? I'm confused why we didn't get frozen there. Did I stall a barrier or something? I'm confused why we didn't get frozen. Alright, I actually gotta prioritize taking blue and purple here, oddly enough. Oh, that or I could just go for red and just get it full mana. Because you don't use any red. You know what? We'll do it this way. Kill that, take this red. And that should be all we need. Oh, perfect. And we even got it from that without even needing it. Alright, and now he's got to poke him with a Devour or whatever. Or at this point, even a Skull or 2 would kill him out. But I think Devour is quicker at this point. Yeah, the stream's going to go on for a while. We're still got a good, like, 15 minutes, if not longer as well. Maybe even half an hour. These battles are also starting to get longer now that they are getting pretty high. We're at 920 out of 987. We're almost there. How long have we been going for so far? We are 2.5 hours deep. We're getting there. Oh, let's see. I'll take that one over. Get a Devour onto first slot there. Yeah, longest stream we've done for a while. Though keep in mind, we will not be streaming tomorrow night for the update, just because the update is basically doing nothing tomorrow night. But 1 week from today, on the following week's Monday, is when we'll do a bit more with it. Because next week's Monday might be as long as this stream. Oh, maybe not, because we're not going to be able to buy as many battles up front. But I will buy the maximum amount of battles we can without spending any money on next Monday. Oh, and at this point, I can actually literally just take a skull and win. Unfortunately, there's no skull to take here, though. There is still no skull to take here. At some point. Alright, there we go. Because I do plan to do a full completion on Underspire next week. Might throw down like a Sunday stream and just go like super, super deep into it or something. Where we do it on Monday next week, but then do like a weekend stream to go and just go all the way through. Buying like almost max torches every day. Why am I looking as if I need to change something? The only thing that matters is what level he is. So I guess checking what the team is somewhat matters. It's not going to change what we do, though. Like, nothing they could have would change our team comp. What they have could change how we play the battle. But our actual composition would never change based on what they have. At least not for this game mode, or at least not for this week of this game mode. Because this team already covers every basis we could possibly need. Oh, why am I trying to cast him? That's kind of useless at this point. Better just to go for the Devour. Because his damage is basically 0 to anything but the boss. He's doing like 166. Which against these stats is pretty much nothing. Yeah, we're almost there, 942. So close, yet so far. That's like, what, 4 or 5 more battles? But how it's scaling, it looks like it's going to be 4 more battles. Oh, that's so much mana right there. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, Iron Gut, kill out the one that can kill us. Then we get rid of the mana drainer. You keep poking last slot. I think we take this for the mana here. Ooh, nothing got full mana there. He's not enchanted or anything, so we're kind of fine. I guess we take red just to make sure that gets up. That should bring both of them to full mana. Iron, get the mana drainer. Explode to try to get something else up. I still gotta double tap his last slot, which is kind of concerning. That we're not closer than we are with how much mana he has. Which means I gotta deliberately not cast Iron Gut here. Because I need to not block on blue on first slot right now. And now we can take blue directly by taking blue or purple. Because otherwise I would only be able to take purple. Alright, that should be full mana. Oh, it's literally right there. Perfect. Alright, that wasn't too bad. A little bit of a slow mana accumulation cycle, but it got there. Alright, what level is he? 953! He's almost there! Looks like in 3 more battles he should be scaled enough. Assuming it moves up by 2 instead of 1 on the other number 1 time. Yeah, 3 battles it looks like he'll be at max stats. 3 or 4. Probably 3. And then from there we gotta do like 8-ish battles or however many's left. I will take the red. Grab our last little bit of mana. He got to deny a bunch of stuff, but that's fine. Let me get rid of his mana drainer. Poke the boss. Take some mana. Get even more mana back. Take all the free purple. Don't forget it this time. Grab that. Get rid of the thing that can deny everything. Explode everything again. I probably should have waited. Now I'm blocking on blue. Nice. Extra turn red. Huge. A little short because I was blocking on blue. But I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, we're almost there. What level is he? 964. He just moved. Oh, no, he didn't move up by 2 yet. But still looks like 2 more battles will get us there after this one. I guess this one will get us to 970 something, and the other one should get us to whatever the max was. What was it? 987. Right off the bat, take all the free purple. Tap him. Get Devour on biggest threat, which is you. Because of mana drain. Alright, next turn we guarantee a full mana, so it's probably better just to take a purple here. As it's the highest priority troop that we need to get mana on right now. Poke that. Honestly, this feels like a purple angle again. Most all these cascades lead to something. Let's go for explode first. 1 mana short. If only you had your 1 lower mana cost already. There's been so many instances we could have actually gotten value from it. If you wait until later in the week, you would be able to get the value for free. It hasn't lost us a battle yet, but there's been a lot of battles we would have won quicker if he had 1 or 2 lower mana costs for sure. Particularly 1. Yep. If it moves up by 2, that will be 987 by the next fight. And then we'll have like 10-ish more battles to do in between the Val Ravens and everything. Alright. Get her explode. I'm gonna kill this in a weird order just because I don't trust the Valhawk. Kill that. Hit that. Explode everything. What do I want to explode for right now? I think we just do it over here. Devour his mana drainer. Poke you. And of course we still need 1 more poke after that. I can kill his main unit right now. I'm not sure I want to that way, though. There we go. Oh, yeah, and the extra turn skull just takes him out. Nice. There we go. 987. Supposedly this is as high as it goes. We'll find out. But it should be the hardest it ever gets, other than the team comp being more annoying. Or the Valhawk somehow getting away. But yeah, there should be max difficulty now, supposedly. We'll find out if it says 987 after. It seems like that's the highest it goes. But we're still not done. We still got some battles to do. But based on the poll, it's technically correct. Will we get perfect up to raid level 987? Well, technically it's not over yet. We need to win this battle. But as long as we win this battle, that did happen. We do still have a few more to do after that, though, beyond getting there. But as far as what that said, it technically has been reached as long as we win this battle. But then we'll do the rest of the battles to see if we get a true perfect all the way through. Alright, what do I need here? I'll take a blue. I'll ignore Skull. Explode should give us the rest we need. Come on! 1 mana again! Alright, we did that. Gotta get the rest of our mana again. Take the free purple. Grab mana again. Keep doing it. Come on! 11 mana! No! Every time. Yeah, that should be matched now. As long as he doesn't get full mana somehow right now. Then we do that. Boom. And I just gotta find this guy full mana real quick. Oh, I could have taken 5 times yellow. Still can. Perfect. Alright, there we go. We made it. Poll technically correct. But now we gotta go see if we can make it all the way now. We made it a 987, but we still have like 12 more battles left. Well, technically 8, but you know, Valhawks are gonna be coming up still. But we did make it a 987. Flawlessly. Alright, 30 explodes. That's kind of interesting, though. Because if that actually is correct, that 5-way tie is perfect, it's kind of interesting that all of them got perfect and didn't lose a single battle. Because there's a lot of opportunities to slightly lose during these battles, for sure. Even though it's relatively easy with absolute max everything, it is still very possible to lose these battles. So if that's like a 5-way perfect tie, that's actually kind of impressive. Though there might have been other people that tried for it too that didn't end up getting it. Oh, I shouldn't have done that yet. I needed mana for the other guy. Whoops, that was a mistake. I basically just wasted that cast. Why do I want to take this? Obviously, we want purple. I guess I just take the purple. The problem is there's a high chance we give him extra turn red. Alright, good. We didn't give him extra turn red. Get a little bit of mana from that. Try to get a purple. Still trying to get a purple. There we go. And that's match. Another one down. Yeah, we're getting like 4,000 something damage each time. Unfortunately, still not enough to go get the shiny token for him. But on day 1, we're already almost done with the previous system. Because this portal right here would be the final one on the previous system before they added these extra 4. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to get the 5 shiny tokens for his 1 lower mana cost today. There's no way we'll reach it in the next 15 minutes. But for later in the week, we'll have access to it pretty early, like by Wednesday or something. Anything else I need here? No. Why do I keep checking as if I need to change anything? I'm just so used to that from like high-level PvP or something. Because the battles are starting to get hard. But there's never a single situation where I'm going to need to change the team. They could literally be any combination of troops here and it wouldn't matter. Alright, so we devour that. We take out this. Take that one over. But it feels really weird doing this. We haven't done a raid this deep in like 8 years or 7 years, however long it's been. It's been a very long time since we've raided this deep. Or done any game mode like this deep. Last time would have been Journey pre-nerf. That we would have went even remotely this deep into a game mode like this. And that was like 3-4 years ago, however long that was. I mean, it's been a long while. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Because that's what the game modes are kind of scaled around as well, is to actually go this deep. But we almost never get to see it since it costs so many gems. Definitely an interesting challenge when you have access to everything. It'd be really hard to do in early game, though. It's not really worth doing in early game for anything other than the Journey achievement one. Alright, looks like we got 8 to 10 more battles, roughly. Depending on Valraven luck. I think this is take purple angle so we can start getting that rolling off the ground. So first things first, we poke you, we get rid of you. Get all of our mana accumulation again. Go forward again. I need that to be at full mana right now. So I think this is a skull angle. So I could then poke him, so I could then go for mana accumulation and deliberately not cast Iron Gut. Because the only thing that matters right now is that we kill the boss troop. And now that we have, we can then go kill the other thing. Because anytime we cast it early, we're going to be blocking blue for no reason. So always got to make sure we get that third hit before we do an Iron Gut for the last time. So you throw that down. You kill Valraven so it doesn't escape. You get a bunch of mana. Extra turn purple, exactly what we want to see. And now I guess I just take red or purple. Pretty much anything to get either this up or that up. And based on how far it is, I guess we go for purple here. And that's battle 1. As main objective is now dead. And nothing else can really kill us. As these things never matter. The only thing that could technically kill us is if all 3 of these were a Wraith and we got really unlucky somehow. It's like the absolute worst case scenario, but it's so unlikely that something like that would even happen. Alright, with 6 battles remaining, that's probably about 8 battles then. Unless we force 2 more Valhawks. We're definitely getting at least 1 more. The second one's up in the air, though. Oh, find out in a bit. Oh, but yeah, that's like 10 battles at most. Maybe a dozen at absolute most if we get really lucky. Alright, first things first, kill the only thing that can kill us. Poke that. Get that guy to full mana. And now we gotta double cast this guy. Ignore our Iron Gut for a little while. Then free skulls, I guess. Free skulls are nice. Somehow still not full mana. That's a little bit of a concern. As long as it doesn't go too crazy with mana, it shouldn't matter though. Alright, Iron Gut we deliberately want to not cast. Though not having full mana for the other guy is kind of unfortunate right now. Alright, we finally got an armor tier on us. That does so much damage. Though surprisingly, nowhere's near killing us. He would still have to hit us 2 more times with cast. But he's at half mana, which is a little concerning right now. I take blue this way so he doesn't get extra turn from it. Purple over there would be bad. And that's matched as long as he does an infinite extra turn right there. We're fine. Boom. Now we devour that, and now it's just a matter of getting the damage in that we need. And we had another skull ready to go if that wasn't already cascaded. Perfect. This one, our next battle should be a Valhawk. Yep, there it is. Well, let's just kill it outright. Alright, one less thing to worry about. You poke that. We can go for 1 more Devour before we get the ball rolling. So kill the other guy that's a threat. Purple gives us full mana for the other poke. Oh no, not if we don't Surge though. Ooh, okay, this is a little concerning. Because everything that I would want to have full mana right now doesn't have it. But we should be okay. We do that. And now we just gotta find him the rest of his mana somehow. Which ideally is just Purple Surge at this point. We try blue too with the skulls. You know what? Give me the blue. Ooh, I didn't Surge though. But we got the rest of his mana from that, so it doesn't matter. There we go. Yeah, he got a little dangerously close to full mana there. But even if he gets it, as long as it's not his turn and he passes his turn, we get at least 1 more turn to do something. Also, worst case scenario, or actually best case scenario, but if he does cast, obviously we don't automatically lose. There's a chance it will because he can loop Brown into himself infinitely. But 4 brown potion gems could easily just completely miss. But worst case scenario is he casts it, gets all 4 of them to trigger, casts it again, gets all 4 of them to trigger, you know, so on and so forth. That's why we don't want him casting a single time. As absolute worst case scenario is he just casts 4 times in a row the second he gets full mana. Not guaranteed, but decently probable. Because as long as the first set of potion gems hit, the other 3 are very likely to hit. But if the first one misses, then it's fine. But the first one hitting would just basically do a chain reaction of the other ones being a lot more likely to land. Because how many brown gems would be on the board by that point. Alright, this guy needs to get full mana already. We still need a double cast. We're a little behind his mana curve at the moment. I should have taken that extra turn purple. Do I cast? I'm really tempted to. Because that allows us to start doing skull damage to him directly. Like, if I take a skull right now, we just win. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Don't even need anything else. Alright, 7 battles to go. Roughly. And we're still on perfect streak. What do we need here? I need... He's going to have full mana anyway, so I think this is a blue or purple angle. We'll take blue. Seems a little safer. And then we explode. It should be full mana for both of them. Throw it out on you. Throw it out on you. This needs to get the full mana, so we'll just take that. Cast his ability. Nice. Full mana from that. Huge. And now he's get him to full mana again, and that should be match. And now we deliberately don't cast Iron Gut and try to get that to full mana. Already got it. Perfect. Do that. Do that. And that's match. Just need to find a Devourer or a bunch of Skull Pokes. And there we go. And of course we can use that split damage. Actually, we concentrated on the one unit to chip them down a little. Not really something we're doing much for damage, but it is still damage. We can't hit Maelstrom Dagon with it though because of the Submerge. As even if it's only hitting one target, it still counts as AoE damage, unfortunately. Alright, let's take the free purple damage. Might as well. Wow, a lot of extra free stuff with it too. Perfect. As Ron mentioned, definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. And next Monday, honestly, we're probably going to be streaming for a pretty similar amount of time. As, of course, we'll be going over to 9.0 update and messing around with everything that entails. Unfortunately, we can't buy as many battles as we did today, though. As there's a cap to how many battles you can buy per day, but we'll still do as much as we can. It won't be as long as this tonight's stream. But we'll mess around with everything we possibly can on next week's Monday with the 9.0 update. The update is technically hitting tomorrow, but everything that the update does doesn't take effect till next week's Monday. So next week's Monday is the main day we'll do everything. We're not going to be doing a stream tomorrow for it. There's just basically nothing we can go over. But next week's Monday is when everything will happen. And we'll go over it then. The only problem is we're pretty capped on how many battles we could buy on day one. Unlike Raid Event where we bought like literal like 3 hours worth of battles. Like I think the most we can get is like an hour's worth on next Monday. We'll do whatever we can do. Not to mention I'll have to do some off-stream just to kind of mention it for the video too. As I do want to get a little bit deeper than the first room to kind of show a couple things for the video. Which will eat up some of the battles for the nightly stream. Because of course Monday video will also go over it. But the Monday stream is when we'll consume every last battle we have. Okay, we'll throw that down. Get a green here if we can, or red, either or. How's my mom been doing? Her leg has been healing up nicely. She still has no job though, so household income is still completely down the drain. But otherwise, it's been healing up nicely. She likely won't be able to go back to her work that she had though. But she has gotten to the point where she can drive now though. And walk around. It's just her leg still hurts with quite a few things. And she's not in a state where she can go back to work. Plus she's pretty much at retirement age, so she's probably just going straight into retirement. Oh, what are we doing here? I'll take the other one over there. Take the red. Get our explode. Oh yeah, there's like no green on the board. I don't know, do I start skull pressuring? I feel like there's a skull pressure angle. Do like right in the middle, try to get something happening here. Yeah, I can just Iron Gut and Skull. There we go. But a 974 skull. Solid. Alright, 4 battles remain. It says 2, but obviously we're getting a Valhawk. I think on next battle, or here. Here it works too. But it should be the final 4 battles unless we get really lucky on Valraven. So obviously we kill that out immediately. Get our guarantee full mana. Start chipping down the boss. Oh, I should have taken the blue extra turn there. Oh, I don't even have a way to cascade all that purple that I need. I think I just explode and hope we get something good. Throw that down. No way to... Oh, no, I can cascade that. We take that over. And at this point, I think we just go for a purple surge. Nice, got it. No extra turn, but some extra value from the sky. And then we throw that down. Throw that down. Explode, skull, win. There we go. You can already know what's going to happen before it happens. We've been through enough of these battles already. Oh, so we used to run Goblin Team a lot back in the day. Not this exact team, obviously. As it uses quite a few modern troops on it. But there's been a lot of points in the past where 4 times Goblin Team has been the meta. It's actually probably one of the longest times in the history of the game where the absolute strongest team in the entire game is not Goblin related. While Goblin teams are really strong in the current state of the game, they aren't the absolute strongest. Mostly due to Maelstrom, Dagannoth, and Flower Dragon, and Stellaryx, and Wand of Stars. All of those have kind of made pure Goblin teams still absurdly good, but not the strongest in the game anymore. We've gone through a lot of different iterations, though, I do have to say. Like, pretty much every few years, there's like a different new meta Goblin team. The older ones still work, but obviously the newer ones work better. I'm actually gonna go for a Devour here. Because we should be fine on mana. I say as we're 2 mana short. We'll be fine. Alright, that's everything we need to win. Worst comes to worst, we could have exploded for a skull as well. Alright, final 2 battles. I don't think we're getting another Valraven, unless we get really lucky on it. But he should be the final 2. I don't believe we're getting a Valraven on next battle. And that would be, if we can get there, 100% completion with no losses. No Valravens lost, no score loss. How do I want to take this? I want to take it so we can take it twice if we can. So we'll grab that one first. The curse of if we only had 1 lower mana cost. Strikes again. Oh, I shouldn't have done that yet. I should have waited till full mana. Because now I can't take blue for full mana. We can take that purple over there, though. Didn't get it, though. Alright, explode should be enough. And that's match, throw that down. Get full mana off of that from a brown cascade. Or just get it from the explode, and there we go. Alright, final battle! Unless we get a Valhawk here. Is it final battle? It is final battle! We did it! We have reached the destination. Alright, this is the last battle we need to not lose. And that would be a perfect Underspire then. I mean, game mode. Raid event. That would have been 6+2 fully completed without a single loss of points then. And then we get to see if that actually was a perfect, all those people that are in that multi-way tie. Because we shouldn't have lost any points at any point here. Unless we somehow lose this battle. But I think at this point we're pretty much in the clear. We'd have to really mess up to lose this battle at this point. Though we are 1 mana short. There we go. Alright, and this match. Just a matter of Iron Gut hitting him one more time. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's see. Is that a multi-way perfect? Where's our score at? Oh, wait. Wait. Did we lose score somehow? Interesting. Or is that a 1 Valraven difference? Oh! I think it's a 1 Valraven difference. Because we scored 4,000 something. And 2 4,000 somethings gets us that score. So this is perfect if you get bad Valraven luck, and this is perfect if you get good Valraven luck. Okay, I see. Oh, we're the second person to get tied highest score with bad Valraven luck, if nothing else. But yeah, this is good Valraven luck, because their battles is exactly 2 higher. Which means they just got their Valraven a little bit luckier on the final roll. Like on that battle we just did, they would have gotten Valraven then. But yeah, that's the difference. This like 5 or 6 way tie over here got a Valraven on that final battle. And this is the category that didn't get the Valraven on that final battle. But both of these are max score. It's just a difference of Valraven luck. Which obviously we have no control over. But yeah, that's perfect score then. Unless we missed a Valraven somewhere, but I'm pretty sure we didn't. I'm pretty sure that's the difference of just Valraven luck there. As there is a bit of variability to it. Which means our very next battle is probably Valraven then. If that's the case. Like if we had 1 more sigil, the very next battle should be a Valraven. Oh yeah, we have some of these that we didn't collect from earlier too. From all that progress. There we go. Almost got all the purple deed books we need. But anyways, guys, as far as Gems of War, yeah, that'll be everything pretty much until next week's Monday. All the teams for the Friday faction event are already in the weekly video. Don't forget, if you want to get, or specifically not get, the most recent Mythic, it is still in drop table for the next 4 days. It's not until Friday that it will be normal drop table. It doesn't say that here, but You have until the end of Thursday all the way at Friday reset time to get it. Or otherwise, if you want to open your keys, wait until Friday and to make sure you don't end up getting this. Is the only Mythic and drop table from the video from last Friday from when we covered that Mythic. But yeah, last 4 days to get it, or wait until Friday to make sure you don't end up getting more copies of it. Beyond that, as I mentioned, we had the faction event on Friday. We have the update tomorrow. And next week's Monday, we'll be doing two things. We'll be going over 9.0 patch live in the, in the video thing. But then on the live stream later that night, we'll be messing with Underspire a ton as the update, all the changes that are coming in tomorrow's update will finally take effect on next week's Monday. So next week's Monday will be very heavily based on, just messing around with all of that. That's pretty much the game plan then. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week, wonderful holiday. Stay warm out there. And yeah, we'll be back next week's Monday then. And we'll go do everything with 9.0 update. Even though the update's hitting tomorrow, it's just doing all the visuals and stuff. It won't actually take effect till the following Monday. So there isn't really much to do tomorrow. So we're just going to wait till next week for it. That's pretty much the game plan. And of course, off stream, we'll keep doing our raid battles to keep getting our score. But as you can see, we already went that way with perfect. So hopefully we'll go the rest of the way with perfect. And yeah, we'll go from there. I mean, it was fun doing a huge amount of raid. That took a little while though, but we did basically do the entire weekly within like 2.5 hours. So that's not too bad in that regard. Like, it took a while, but we basically completed the weekly. Like, if we really want to, if we were in a slightly more active guild, because ours is a little bit inactive at the moment, we still need to recruit the rest of the people. But, I don't know. We should be able to hit it by, like, Wednesday or Thursday. But, where was I trying to go with this? I was trying to mention something. But, yeah, we're basically done with the weekly. Like, we could do no battles for the rest of the week, and the guild on their own would probably get the rest of the points, is basically what I'm saying. So we basically completed the whole weekly in 1 day in like 2.5 hours. It did cost a lot of gems though, 2,350, but we got to do it on Monday and not need to worry about the other 6 days technically. Because I'm pretty sure even if it contributes 0 more points, we'd still get it done by the end. But if not, we'll do some more battles, obviously. But anyways, guys, have a wonderful week. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for stopping by as always. Greatly appreciated. And goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.